Hello everybody. I think I'm about ready to get started. We'll see who's around, but basically today is just going to be a bonus stream for the intent of just taking advantage of the Christmas event while it's still here. This will be like one of the last weekday ones that we do. Yeah, for bonus streams anyway. I know I definitely can't do any like Wednesdays and Fridays next week, or even the week after that. So I figured while I'm still able to do it, I might as well get one last in. And we'll see where we go from there. Oh no. Cat can't see it, but Windows popped up something on my side. It was like, OneDrive, look back at your memories, December 27th, and it's the face tank emote when I first made it. I don't know why it popped up in the corner just then, but that was kind of funny. But anyway. Oh, Valkyrie profile. Here's something else. Let's go see what the bonuses are, and we'll see who's around, and that'll determine what we do today. I'm open to any quests that the chat wants to play. This is just a bonus stream. I don't have anything in particular in mind. I guess I never really thought about when I made those icons. I'm like, to me, I'm like, we just kind of did them. Also, forgot to give a shout out to Old Greg for the recent follow.
You're wide open!
Welcome, Retract. Hope you're doing well. Let's see what the bonuses are. Anyway, Retract, if you want to do some multiplayer, I am open to it. I'm just seeing what the bonuses are. Still... Male Force... I was going to say, still Male Force Druid. Okay. So all that's still there. Well, plus side, this character is a V801. Let's see, what would make sense to do? What would make sense with just two people to do? My roommate is playing now as well, got him to level 91. I was gonna say he's more than welcome to hop on stream. It sounds like he's the right level for Ultimate if he's interested. Or if she, I don't really know. Let's see. Let's see. Let's do some warm-up easy quests while people are still coming in. I'm gonna switch over to a force, so let Retract do some damage. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and make the game. We'll wait a moment to see if there's anybody else joining us today. Otherwise, we'll just go play some easy Terrells or something. Might just be us for the first hour or so, if I had to guess. I'll let the track get whatever items they need. In the meantime, I'm trying to think if there's a character I want to level. I can't really think of any. As long as I'm playing characters that aren't my level 200s, I think I'm good. No worries, Retract. I figured this quest is just easy enough for presents. Do a quick Terrells. When we have more people, it makes sense to do like your Christmas fiascos or your boss attacks and stuff like that. Evilstever says, yo, I'm Retrax buddy. I'm gonna join up if that's cool with y'all. Sure, come on in. We're in block 2 in Fodra. Password is King. A-I-N-G. Oh, thank you for subscribing. Never required, but it is nice to give gift subs. Oops, almost did Towards the Future. I mean, like, we technically could do Towards the Future. We do have 3 people. I always get baited by the chat where it says blah blah blah, just subscribe, and I'm like, wait a minute. It does that for gift subs too. I'm gonna go ahead and stunlock these enemies for the team. They can take their time. Not much the Hill Delts can really do against this. I'm gonna go ahead and go fully stack, so that way the wolves take damage upon spawn. Technically, if you're really bored, you could do it with Ramoral, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. Horses, meanwhile, if you look at their health total, basically halved it without them appearing. So 2 forces alone could kill everything in multiplayer. It's kind of funny. 4 enemies. Yeah, we'll spare the beginning players doing some December disaster. Those quests are not very friendly to new players. And while fun, they do require a very, very high stat total. Go ahead and clear these out. Oop. What's the command for game volume? I can't hear the stream. You know, I almost never use it. I could probably look it up. I'm not sure if anybody knows offhand. PSO by itself is very loud. I just manually tune it down. Yeah, could be slashes there. I've turned off the music, for example, in the game. But even then, I still lower the application volume. Yeah, PSO is like insanely loud. I think it's sitting at like 10% volume and it's still like ultra loud. Kind of insane. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna do a wall check. Yeah. I know I had to lower my gain volume. If it was at 100%, like literally put it at like 10%. Not surprised. Don't mind me, just killing enemies in a completely different room. We're gonna go ahead and do a wall check here, because I'm a force and I don't play by the rules. I'll kill those other Hill Delts later. Back to them. I just marked them so I know that they're at least not in the room I'm in. And take care of those. Team's not putting some good damage. I'm seeing 1,000. Strong mag, maybe some materials, charge weapons. A good sign. Yeah, this event's pretty good for getting people up to speed. You might end up with some nice present weapons, which will help you basically skip any hours of gameplay you're trying to get. I didn't mean to speak the rampies, I'm bad. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a little telepipe down near the warp gate here. We're gonna have to come back here in a moment. Excuse me. Goodbye, enemies. I didn't think they got spooked at max distance, Rovardo. Huh. Hold on. Stack some Gafoes. Yeah, look at that damage dealt to them. GG. I'll reapply buffs in just a moment. Basically what'll happen here is that as soon as we hit this other switch, technically, if we had a fourth player, they would immediately go over to the laser gate that's opening on the right. We could stick together for now, for clear speed purposes. Let the team go on that side. Random Hildator. Hello there. I would like another frozen shooter. Although that means I cannot kill this thing without team assistance. Here's the lore of this. Yeah, its weakness is so bad. Oof, not a single frozen shooter drop for me. That sucks. Hopefully the team got something just then. I think I'm 3 Hildators in a row. No frozen shooter. Brutal. So if somebody else has Ryuker or a telepipe, we could take theirs. No hit's still probably okay for new characters. So we'll take whatever telepipe they have. There we go. Perfect. Everybody can take mine, because it's a little shortcut. I'm gonna take my red warp here. And the reason why this is important is that we can have somebody go up. So Retract can go up. Oh, Retract is following me. I was gonna say, we can have somebody go up, and somebody can go down. So, for example, when I hit this switch, I don't really want to fight the Hildelts. For future reference, I'll kill these. If you walk near the switch, it'll spawn the Hildelts. They might not appear right away, just kind of rub your way through it. So, I don't really want to kill them. Chat should probably kill them for presence. I just don't want to do it. I'm literally the least equipped. Then we come to the green door. So just be aware during the event, just kill all enemies, don't skip them. So what'll happen here is I'm gonna go summon the extra enemies in this area. So if you come to the back of the room, for example, there's a purple laser gate switch. And when you attempt to do so, you'll get ambushed. Let me go ahead and get out of here. That's stuck on the post. Not awkward. Tell me that doesn't happen. Yeah, it was like a little off. The reason you want to come back here is it spawns more enemies to fight, and since we want presence, this gives you a lot more value overall. I'm gonna pick up these items. What I'm gonna do is once the next wave clears, I'm gonna have the ability to go up and need the rest of the team to kind of come down. If you're hit with shock, if you have a soul atomizer, that'll clear it. Otherwise, if a friend has anti, they might be able to use it to cure. I want the team to stay here. I'm gonna go up. When you run out of things to kill, we'll meet up again. There we go. Get rid of these enemies. So when they see the double Hildelt that's near the purple laser gate, that'll be their sign that they're done. I'm gonna go ahead and kill the 2 Hildelts I spawned earlier. I just figure it saves me time, and I do decent damage to them. A little unlucky not to freeze there. It is what it is. speaking of unlucky, yeah, am I really not gonna freeze him? Wow. Unlucky. What a waste of time when that happens. I could have just debuffed him if I thought I wasn't gonna get it in 6 for Bardas. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and kill these remaining Talos. Already murdered all the waves of enemies here. So we'll kill Dragon for a little bit of XP. And then we'll reset out of the quest. We'll do this quest, I think, one more time, and then we'll mix it up a little. Dragon's decent XP for people that are leveling. Yeah, I think once everybody has a little over 700 health, it opens up a lot of quests. The problem with doing it with like really low HP is that you'll just end up dying to minimum damage on some enemies. If we could get Colette up with like 10 more levels, I think they would be able to do a whole bunch of fun stuff. Retract is good. Retract's HP is silly good. I don't need to worry about it. You do almost everything at this point. Goodbye, Dragon. I'm gonna use Gathoi here to pop the boxes early. The dye fluid here. I think we're good. I'm gonna hit space/lobby so I can exit to the lobby. Space will pop up the channel. You can also set that to be a command, so that way you don't need to type it each time. But I figure it'd be worth at least mentioning there. Be back in a minute or two, need to move my car. Sure thing, Retract. Yeah, if you look at our chat shortcuts, for example, you could technically put in game commands here. So if you don't like typing /bank or /lobby, you can basically come into, if you hit start, chat, shortcut, and then whenever you hit shift plus one of the function keys, you can just make it automatically do it. I do that for the bank stuff, because I get tired of doing character bank swaps. So if you want to assign some stuff there, that's a nice little quality of life that a lot of people don't know about. Especially since I use controller, so I assign things like joy to key, so I don't need to ever use my keyboard unless I feel like it. Yeah, I found it useful because, you know, L2 and R2 don't exist, or the equivalency thereof don't exist in PSO, since it is more of like a GameCube controller layout. So I use those back shoulder buttons to basically change controller profiles. So for example, L1 or the left button rotates my camera, but if I hold like the back button in L1, I can cast spells and stuff like that. That way I can use the 0 to 9 at the bottom. I basically just want to reduce as much menuing as possible. Or if I hit like R2 and then hit the right stick, I can cast spells that way too. That way I don't have to constantly menu for things like shift to D-ban. Yeah, the bumpers make sense. Technically, if I push in L3, R3, they open menu, but I can almost tell you I never do it on purpose. I'd rather have my other menus. At least if I hit select on the controller, I can do techniques. Like if I'm really wanting to quick cast there, it's not too bad menu-wise. Yeah, if we had like a fourth person, I would feel more confident in bringing newer players to harder areas. But we're gonna warm up on this a little bit. We'll gradually increase the difficulty as we go. So I'll pop the boxes. Yeah, I think a big thing is people transition from like solo gameplay to multiplayer gameplay is identifying what the strengths and weaknesses of each of the classes are, which is very hard to do, I would say, to do accurately, especially when you're fighting a whole bunch of monsters you've probably never seen before. But I'll let you know, the giant apes are something I don't want to fight, and those grasshoppers, if you see those, your priority to help me out would be to kill those, because those are very annoying for me to kill. You wouldn't know that unless you were playing a force. Just, I don't do enough damage to either of them. Everything else, like moths, I can kill very quickly. I'm gonna show you a little PSO jank here. I'm just gonna do a wall check. Don't mind me. It actually spawned enemies that are in the next area, but I'm gonna kill them. I'm gonna go ahead and debuff the room. There we go. So if you're wondering why there's nothing that we fight on the upper floor, it's because I killed them just now. All 5 of those enemies just died off screen. A little PSO jank for you. Speaking of PSO jank, I can check for the other hill delts, since they spawn when you break a certain box. So if you hit your spell just right, you might remember, if you're using the add-ons, you can see the wounded hill delts. I'm just hitting them through the wall to save me some time later. 18 damage seems fine. Down the Ryuker for later. I figure these are just easy present checks while we wait for people. We'll just gradually increase the difficulty of the quests as we go. Super Telos. I'll do enough damage to them. Yeah, I think it takes me 12 casts of Razan to kill a Hilldelt, which is really slow. Whereas the other enemies died at 3 to 4 casts for me. If you're wondering why I say it, I don't like fighting the giant apes. They're just very, very slow for me. Like, I can kill them, it's just not ideal for sure. Oh my gosh, I actually stopped them from using lightning. Usually they just zap me every time. They're quite annoying that they get the fast walk stuff there. Anyway, I'm gonna stack a Foe so the wolves die almost instantly. This is where from like a target prioritization in high level play, if you shot the wolves at all, I would just shake my head. I'd be like, I'm like, listen, I'll kill them in like 3 casts. Eldos, they take too long. So the chance of a rare enemy spawning is 1 in 500. So seeing a Hilda Tor on the first set is pretty good luck. Also, I would recommend, if you happen to see a red handgun drop, to not ignore those. I've been looking for them because they're very useful for other characters. Oh, red saber. Speaking of weapons that I wish rolled with better stats, red sabers are super good on phone new worlds, but unfortunately, they need to roll with very specific stats. If you're not sure, you can always ask. Okay. The team can go south. I'll help stunlock the room. Red saber with machine and hit percentage. I feel like the game is taunting me. That might be usable. I don't know. I would have to experiment with it. Like, it technically rolled with what I wanted, which is machine percentage. Extra hit percentage means I could use it in combat outside of the area that I need it. Okay, we're gonna quickly debuff every enemy, which will greatly increase team damage based off of enemy stats. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure our friends here are topped off with buffs. I have a little add-on that tells me about when it'll run out. You'll see as I come over here, I'll get ambushed. Thank you for dealing with those. They're quite annoying. Okay. I'm gonna let the team fight these. I think this area is better suited for rangers. So we'll kind of multitask here. PSO at high level play involves a lot of splitting up, since at some point your gear will be so strong that you could basically solo rooms even in multiplayer. Or you'll go in like 2-man squads, and that by itself is usually good enough. The way I view PSO is that the endgame is more balanced around 2-man teams, or if you have weaker characters, like you just entered a difficulty, 3-man teams. There are some quests that are more suited 3-man than 4-man, outside of like ones requiring those number of characters. So this quest, for example, is potentially coverable by just 2 people. If people understand the roles well enough and they're super well geared. But since you're all starting out, it doesn't make sense to make you go on a grand solo adventure with no backup. Yeah, meanwhile here, look at this Razan. Oh, disgusting. Stun lock. This is what I didn't get last time. Here we go. Here, where was this last time? So much better. We're gonna double check if the team still needs help down there. Good. Yeah, that look good. Congratulations on hitting 106. I swear these boxes are broken. I have never seen them drop anything. Boxes should have a chance of dropping something. I have never seen them drop with something. I would not be surprised if they're bugged. They just literally didn't bother putting it in the first quest iteration. I almost get hit by the dragon head. I was gonna say, unironically, the dragon has killed me the most times out of all bosses, due to it just falling on me randomly. When you play Hunter, you end up with super low health. Which is kind of ironic that Hunter ends up being the glass cannon class. Ooh, good damage. That was a good sign when the dragon isn't able to lift off. I'm gonna pause that song, it sounded a bit weird. Let's move to Arc Rise Phantasy. So we finished Sands of Destruction soundtrack. Let's try the soundtrack. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and slash lobby. I'm gonna switch characters altogether. So section ID is very important in this game, but it's not something that you need to understand right away. It's more for people that are looking to hunt very, very specific items versus just playing for fun. I'm gonna switch characters because I'm gonna get very specific items. Whoever hosts the game will determine the item drops. So we're gonna do a quest that involves a little bit of forest and caves. We're gonna tune the difficulty up one more notch compared to what we were just running, because I think our damage is pretty good. 25 hit charge Vulcan. Oh, that's unfortunate. It's not bad for a first time drop, but not usually usable, sadly. You'll get to a point where once you hit around level 180 or so, if you check the weapon shop every now and then, especially on purple ID, it actually just straight up has a chance of giving you 50 hit charge Vulcans. Like, you can just buy them. It's unfortunate it's random. You'll see me check the weapons store every now and then. Sometimes it'll give you a 50 hit that's useful. But yeah, you're kind of level gated for a while. At least I've never seen it give 50 hit of anything useful prior to a certain level. Let's go ahead and do Rescue from Legal. Another very high enemy density quest. It starts off a bit slower, but we also go to slightly harder areas. If we had a fourth person, I would feel so much more confident about doing a boss rush. There's basically a couple different stages. There's ones that literally take you to the final boss of episode 1, and there's some that kind of give you a mix. So I guess in theory, assuming the raw Marl has level 20 shift to D-band, technically we could do those. There are characters I want to level, but I have a character that can hard carry that kind of run. No level 20 shift to D-band yet? That's unfortunate. They can drop on Forest. I've seen a lot of 15s so far. I usually see them the most in episode 4. I guess if I'll see any that drop here, I'll just pick them up and drop them for you, since everybody is instant loot. I don't really need them, so I have like a whole bunch of them in a bank somewhere. In case I ever get the feeling of making another character. Pop the boxes. And for new players, it's very hard to equip the techniques right away unless they've been making a mind mag. So usually what I'll end up doing is if I play Raw Marl, let's say as my first character, while making a power mag, I'll make a mind mag. That way I can learn all the techniques in the game. Yeah, if you're just counting natural level ups, there's no way. Raw Marl natural MST is okay, but level 20 is a bit of a jump. That's where I just loan you a mind mag. But like here, have this thing that adds 300 and something, 360 or so MST. You should, like, trust me, you can learn it now. I don't care what your stats are. Get rid of these. If you see the little wrappy mag over my shoulder, that's giving me super MST boost. Okay. Let's all go talk to the console that's over here. I was gonna melee him to death. The ultimate disrespect. I think if there's another quest that's good for XP that we haven't done on stream in a while. Massive attack is potentially too difficult. Oh. Hello, vocals. Goodbye, vocals. It's like, again, the fastest way to get a copyright strike. You let those vocals play. Flyers are generally fine. Just not vocals. Rid of these. Up some boxes. I guess I can box check through the wall. You'll see me go into the menu. I should probably go in the menu more often. But whenever I'm entering a room and I see enemies, I'll actually just open the pause menu, or I'll open like the quick chat in order to stop myself from targeting. It's not mandatory to do, but there are a lot of strategies you can't do unless you know about that. If you're wondering why people run through hallways with the menu up, it's to stop from targeting traps that appear, for example. You just outrun the traps. Okay. So I'm gonna say in terms of priority, if you see a little plant anywhere on screen, you kill it. You do not let that thing do anything. I don't care what else is in the room, you kill the plant. That's rule number 1. If you're used to it on lower difficulties, it just poisons you. On high difficulties, it's insta-death. If you ignore them, they will kill the party. They shoot quite far into the room. They are quite annoying. I killed one. Everything else is pretty non-threatening. We'll also need assistance if you see something called the pan arms. It should be appearing right about where I am now. So I'll debuff this thing so it takes enhanced damage from the team. But as long as you freeze it, we could generally kill it pretty quickly. Good job, team. We'll need that for the other one as well. And you'll need me, because I can lower its defense. It has really good defense. So potentially, especially if you're playing as a human character, you'll end up with other options to deal with enemies with really high defense. Speaking of level 20 Shifta, I'm just gonna go ahead and casually drop that on the floor for our friend there. just casually got it in the run. See that? It paid off. So that's pretty huge, because that means that if you're playing with Retract by yourself, level 20 Shifta is a really big stat increase. Honestly, it basically serves you through the entirety of the game if your team is good enough. Like 15, you have to be like really good in order for it to be strong, but 20 is not that bad. 30 obviously the best for casual play, but 20 is more than good enough to take a 2-man squad where you need them to go. I see murder flowers. As I said before, I'm gonna drop. Yeah, good job, team. Part of the other murder flower. Respect the enemy prioritization. People that disrespect the enemy prioritization cause team wipes. Team's on point. Yeah, if you see things like this, you could kind of kill whatever. I mean, the dragon's probably the most annoying, but it's not like a go-to. So one thing you'll have to kind of assess is like, what are your team's strengths? The people that are using guns are really good at hitting crowds of 5, or picking off single targets like that Crimson Assassin. Hunters are really good at fighting trash mobs, or Kind of similar to Rangers, they can use Charge Vulcan to instant burst mini-bosses. They kind of have some flip-flop. They can choose whether or not they want to be single target versus ranged. The difference being that if there's a Ranger versus a Hunter, and there's a character with a lot of health and defense, you would rather the Hunter take care of that while the Ranger takes care of the rest. The Ranger generally has just better options for crowd control at a distance, or has the ability to freeze important targets that the Hunter might not. So some of it will just depend on party comp. Charge Arm is probably one of the best weapons in the game. I think Retract has a Type SH shot with charge, which is basically the equivalent, and it is super, super powerful. The Charge Vulcans are very strong, but you're not guaranteed to combo kill with the Ranger. That's kind of the downside with the Ranger. They have the flexibility to choose many good weapon types, but sometimes they just don't have the raw stats to combo kill. But, again, sometimes it doesn't matter. I mean, if you're long distance as a Ranger, does it matter if you take 5 shots to kill instead of 3 shots? Sometimes it doesn't matter. So again, that'll be something you kind of assess as you get used to the game. Like, I know my damage is absolutely terrible with weapons. So when it comes to pan arms, I can't kill them at all. So I would lean towards, like, the Hunter to help me get through the defense of the other enemies that we saw. Speaking of which... Oh, team's fighting the pan arms. Good stun lock, good stun lock. Okay, I have to lure them. Okay. We're gonna come back to the north. There's another pan arms. There we go. This one's more of a knowledge check. That one's kind of hard to see. Pan arms like to hide underground, so unless you're familiar with the quest, it could be hard to determine where it is. That's fine, though. But once you see that pop up, you're just like, you drop everything to get that thing killed. The Force can't really kill it, unless they're really, really good with demons. And my demons is just mediocre at the moment. Goodbye, Lily. So Forces are pretty good at killing trash mobs in really high numbers. So let's say there's like 20 or like 15 enemies in a room. The Force can kill all of them at the same pace pretty quickly. So the Force will outpace Rangers and outpace Hunters in some of those rooms. But on the flip side, if it comes to a mini-boss, they basically just can't do anything. So I'm going to acknowledge that I will not be the person that kills those. I will not bother attempting to do so. And that's where I can kind of assist the Rangers for a little bit of damage boost by Zaloring, lower the enemy defense. Now there are some scary traps in this area, so I'd recommend if you don't know where they are, only move in the cardinal direction. So think of the room, think of like a giant D-pad. If you move in the diagonals of said D-pad in this room, you will die. just as a heads up. Just casual warning, you could just die randomly moving diagonal. Anyway, I'm gonna stun lock them. I think Retract hit some of the traps at least. I think we're able to move a little bit more. Fortunately, there are armors you can get if you want to do some solo play without a cast. So for example, there's an item called the Lieutenant Mantle in episode 4 that allows you to see traps as a raw moral. That way you would be able to shoot them with your shotgun and know where they are at all times. It's not a bad armor to pick up for your character at some point. The downside to things like episode 4 is it requires the group to have a pretty balanced weapon variety to do well. So, and also you need about 708 health, I think. So we'll keep leveling the raw moral. Once that magic number happens, we'll do some episode 4. Otherwise, it would feel kind of bad. You might just get one shot randomly by like multiple enemies. There we go. Get rid of these enemies. Ouch. There's a pan arm. Will you stop lasering me? Holy. That's so annoying. Oh, unfortunately the pan arms were allowed to split. It's unfortunate. Sometimes it matters. I don't remember if on this ID it matters. It probably doesn't. So I'm gonna go across the way. When I do this, the red door is eventually gonna open to the south, but we're gonna get ambushed. Just as a heads up. Have fun with that. Well, I was gonna say, I'm gonna have to revive you. Technically, we game over on this quest if someone dies. But if we're really quick and the person has escaped all, I can stop the game over from happening. I was on point with that. It's like, uh-oh. Not have a death. Yeah, some quests have additional restrictions on whether you pass or fail. Probably should have mentioned that earlier for this quest, but it is what it is. Dimates. We're about to fight a very familiar boss again. Learned my lesson the first game over. Ooh. Okay. So in this wacky world, we're gonna go fight Dragon. So I was like, I already know Chat can kill Dragon. It's not even a question in my mind. It's over. Poor Dragon. Even if this lure, the team damage is just so high on this enemy. Poor enemy. Move out of the way there. So if you're wondering, when the dragon completely straightens up, but before it roars, if you can slip in an attack right as that happens, you can actually glitch the dragon's health and damage him. Like right about there. Oh, I got the glitch. It's like, it might be one frame. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how lenient it is. Essentially, the game will forget to reset his health, because normally he can't go below a threshold. But when he transitions phases, when it goes to make that check, it either A, skips it, or B, thinks it's in the next form and then doesn't reset it. But in either case, you can end up killing the dragon instantly, which is very funny. His little roar and just immediately go into the death cutscene. Poor dragon. Dragon has not been a real boss for many, many years at this point. Yeah, so see how we're starting to get like a ton of enemies? This is where the force starts to shine. Where there's just a whole bunch of random enemies. If they all have the same weakness too, like this is perfect for me. I can hit the whole room. It's unlocked for the team so they can kill the Hilldelt. Be aware there's about to be like 5 Hilldelts behind me, so I'll actually need the team back where we spawned. As otherwise I'm gonna get hard bullied. The Rappies. You walk away from the Rappies far enough, they'll wake up, so I'll hit them with lightning if that happens. There we go. I don't really want to fight these Hilldelts. Leave it to the team. Wow, team absolutely deleted those Hilldelts. Good job. I will also absolutely pick up a luck material. That's a good drop here. So you'll see people put fire traps down near the Rappies. If nobody is near the cast user when they put down a fire trap, the Rappie will wake up and trigger the fire trap automatically. If you're playing solo and want to do that, let's say you're a hunter in particular, you can actually just do that without a ranged weapon to just hit them automatically. I'm randomly going to freeze targets, which improves the team's accuracy. Obviously shuts down the enemies pretty well. Yeah, like look how many enemies are here. These are not ranger-friendly numbers, but it's fine. That's why I'm here. Ooh, I got double crit that almost killed me. Unlucky. My Rappy Mag killed me. Rappy Mag is like, damn, you're getting abused. I'm like, you're right. It took like 90% of my health in one wombo combo. Goodbye, enemies. Yeah, so you'll see me sometimes do this little fireball spell. I'm trying to hit the Rappies when we walk away from them. As long as the team walks away, they should eventually stand up into it automatically. Nice, they did. Nice photon draw. Okay, I'm gonna walk over here, which should make them very angry. Here we go, angry. There's another healing circle over here for people that need TP, traps, etc. I'm gonna go take my TP restore. Put a happy little fireball down for the rappies that are over here. Hopefully we'll end up seeing something called the Heavenly Arms. So the one of the wolves, I forget which one, if it's Golgiski or the other one, has a chance of dropping an item or a unit that gives 25 accuracy. So you can imagine if you're making another character and you have all these guns that need like 180, 200 accuracy, that just wielding 3 of those gives you 75 accuracy, and you cut out literally 50 to 60 levels worth of ATA. Very silly. Plus it lets you hit your charge specials more consistently, which is nice. So it's, for leveling, it's considered one of the best units in the game. At high level, you'll phase it out, like around like 180 or so, for other kinds of things, since you won't need that many. Nice freeze trap. Good lockdown of the room. Put another fireball here. Can fight the rappies there. I'm gonna go spawn the hill elves. Oh, punched me before I could get away. Fortunate. I guess I'll kill them now. Now that they've locked me in place, I'll kill them. A little Gafoe down for the remaining rappies. I'll move away. Welcome, old Greg. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the recent follow. Love some PSO. Do you happen to play on Ephinea, old Greg? We're just doing some Ephinea today. Goodbye, Talu. I don't think I've seen a present drop yet. A little disappointed. Kind of hoping one of you would get it. We're killing so many raw enemies in this kind of quest. But I guess it isn't double present rate anymore. Started a few days ago, original put on GameCube back in the day. Nice, nice. Yeah, I also played on the GameCube a long time ago. There's actually quite a few people that have hopped on stream that have just made characters within the past week or so. So you picked a good week to start a new character, since on Ephinea it's 200% XP. Plus you might end up getting some presents, which will potentially jumpstart you into the harder difficulties. Okay, so I know the switch on the right is a dud. I'd recommend not hitting that. That's where my roommate came from too, says retract. Nice, nice. I've been playing for a while, so I have a whole bunch of characters. I still don't think I'm at like the end game of PSO. Like, I think I'm closer to the end game of PSO, but I switch characters so often that it just kind of split focus for a long time. Plus, it's not my main one. I noticed on VOD from the other day you had an item name overlay. How did I do that? That's one of the new add-ons you can get. I thought about if I wanted to do a video on it. So for example, if you have the current add-ons, it's Dropbox Tracker, the name of the add-on. Yeah. Yeah, it's very easy to set up. As long as you have the core add-on, all you do is just literally move the folder in. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, Old Greg. Dropbox Tracker. So, like, for example, if something drops that I could pick up, like that rests at level 15, I don't need to be hovering on it. Although I did just hear a present, but I don't see the present. It must be behind this wall of enemies. Oh, there it is. See that, chat? You complain about not finding anything. The game rewards you. Magic Rock Heart Key. It gave me Heart Key? Is that the one I think it is? Hold on. Hold on, is that the one I think it is? 1 second. I'm double checking because there's a lot of magical rocks in this game. Wow, it gave me that. It did give me the one I thought it did. Whoa. Okay, well that was definitely the best. That was the best drop in the game so far. For those not aware, that normally costs 50 photon drops to make. That's why I did a double take. Okay, so now I officially can no longer complain about present drops. Just like, okay, I can't complain anymore. That was kind of a major save of PDs. Holy. I could eventually make Sweetheart. That was a goal. I have several magical pieces, but I actually have 0 Sweethearts. The downside is I think it costs 2 keys. But just getting the equivalency of 50 PDs in a drop, I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm happy I did a bonus stream today. It's like, oh, I got the payout. Now I just need the team to get the payout. We're all good. Anyway, there's so many enemies here. I do apologize for Rangers. You physically just cannot hit all these enemies. You could tell which quests are more like Force quests than like Ranger Hunter quests. It's like, are there like an insane number of enemies? If so, another present. I guess we got photon drops. How many did we get? 3 photon drops. Okay. Well, I mean, today was a very good day, apparently. Do I have another scape doll just in case? I have 1 scape doll. That should be good. I just want to make sure I have 1 in case, for whatever reason, I died or something. But yeah, Dropbox Tracker probably has an update since I last picked it up. I should probably update my version. It talked about linking it to GitHub, and I'm like... The problem is I use GitHub for other things, so I don't really want it linked to my account on GitHub for it, so I was like, I didn't end up doing it. I understand about the automatic update process, but at the same time, I'm like, I really don't want to tie my PSO stuff to that account. So for people that don't want to do that, you can just drag and drop the folder. Because technically you could get something called GitHub Desktop, but I have it configured very differently. I would not want that to be in my PSO folder, because I do Castlevania mods every now and then, which is a very, very different file path. I'm like, I don't want to accidentally do something with my setup. So many enemies. I think Colette is maybe 2 levels from doing episode 4. We're so close. So close. Just need a little teeny bit of levels. Yeah, the big issue I would say with the current group is not necessarily stats aside from HP. It's more weapon variety. So for example, I don't think Retract has the equivalency of a spread needle. I would have to loan it to them if we wanted to do Volt Op, for example. So there are certain weapon types that are required in order to do bosses very smoothly in Ultimate. So if you don't have them, certain boss rushes are very, very awkward. Like, it's the difference between spending like 15 seconds on a boss and 2.5 minutes. It really, really, really adds up. Yeah, what a ridiculous present drop. That is definitely the best present so far. I think the Rappies are going to wake up anytime soon. Yeah, we could end up hunting more spread needles. We've been doing Red ID TTF, which in theory can drop them. There's 4 chances every time we do the run of it dropping spread needle. But yeah, it's just kind of one of those things where it's so good. Or technically you could do challenge mode and end up with like a rest needle, but that also requires being good enough at the game to do that, so take it as you will. Did I cap on PDs again? Alright. Hold on, chat. I'm having classic PSO problems. Like, not for beginner players, but I capped out on photon drops, which is very annoying to me. Let's see. So in this particular instance, we'll potentially run this quest one more time. But what I want to make sure that I do is I'm going to make a little quick quest in between to go deal with the, we'll call it rich people problems. I'm gonna go deal with that real quick. So Ephinea added some custom items to deal with stuff that was a big problem in GameCube version. So for example, if I just roll my fingers across the keyboard, etc., etc., some may or may not be aware of a quest called Gallon Shop. The Gallon Shop is normally a manner or a place in which you can exchange the photon drops for items, right? So like we're talking about Magical Piece earlier. Normally you would bring in up to 50 in order to get those kinds of items, or maybe you'll get like, you'll convert a Monkey King bar into the Black King bar, etc., etc. But there's another purpose in Ephinea. I'm going to show you it real quick in case you come across this issue. Gallon Shop, literally the first one, you don't need to think about it. I always forget which NPC it is. It might be this one. Perfect. So, okay, so I don't have a free slot, that's why he's mad at me. We're gonna drop something so I could do it for now. I'm gonna tell him to assemble a horde. So what that does is it basically just takes a stack of 99 PDs and puts them in there. I think in GameCube, it also didn't stack photon drops, if I remember correctly. GameCube was a wild world, let me just tell you real quick. Like, there is some quality of life stuff that are kind of shocking it's not in the core game. Anyway, we put that away. So we'll do that quest one more time. And hopefully by that point, we'll be strong enough to do some episode 4. Now, episode 4 is probably one of the best areas to do, especially during XP boost. And the reason being that every enemy has just so much more raw experience than everything else in the game. So, like, us killing these enemies, we're getting about 300 XP a second. If we could kill the episode 4 enemies, we could easily get 400 to 450 XP a second, meaning that our level 109 player will probably level 3 to 4 times a quest instead of just once, depending on what we do here. The game should be up. I'll make sure I set the pass to King. Sort our inventory real quick. Oh, I have a Sacred Cloth I didn't put away. Unfortunately, I'm starting to run out of shared bank space because I'm picking up a lot of presents. I had like 40-something free slots. All of those other things have just been presents or like items that are like good enough to sell. Yeah. Like, I don't have like a ton of weapons in here. It's more these shields I gotta get rid of at some point, and I have way too many heavenly HPs. I'm gonna put these away. Yeah, that Magic Rock Heart Key was a big surprise for me. I didn't even know those could drop, but today we learned. Whenever Colette's ready, we'll get started with episode 1. And as I said before, Old Greg, as you get closer to level 80, more than welcome to join the stream when we have free slots. Especially during bonus days, there's not usually a lot of people on. Yeah, I wrote a guide a while back talking about what items to go for. But for those that aren't sure what to do as they come into Ultimate, they're looking to understand what to potentially spend PDs on. Oops, somebody left the counter. If you're not sure what items to go for, oh, grab my escape dolls, that's fine. We talk about like the best use of PDs in the game, since there's only like a handful of items that I would consider like quote-unquote essential for Ultimate. And honestly, not a lot of it is very expensive. Like, one of the best weapons you can have, for example, on a hunter is a charged Vulcan. It costs you 1 photon drop. That item alone is like such a quality of life change, and most players will offer it in trade. Because as I said before, you could buy it from the shop, but it's so game-changing. The ability to combo kill enemies, or to be able to burst things like Dragon before it lifts off the ground, that it basically makes your run. So I see a lot of people go for, like, when they're new to the game, they're like, oh, why don't I want to hunt straight for, like, V101, which gives, like, 15 to all stats and gives the same benefits as Heavenly Battle, for example. And the reason being is that it's just kind of a luxury item. Like, is 15 attack really going to be worth, like, 18 photon drops over just buying a Heavenly Battle for 1 photon drop? Does it really give you, quote-unquote, 18 times the value? So I think when people put that into that kind of perspective, they can end up shopping a little smarter. And they can take, like, 10 or 12 PDs, or even all 18 if they're buying, like, the V801, and have a literally completed Ultimate loadout for your character, including your mag, including most of your materials. Or you could just have a unit that very barely increases your stats. Right, like, eventually, yes, you want to hunt for it, but that's the thing. You want to hunt for it. You don't want to pay for it. So I think coming into that mindset will help a lot of new players understand that there's, like, a lot of things that are not worth you hunting for. They're, like, easy pickups if you're willing to do trades. And there's other things that are expensive because they're hard to find. Speaking of Heavenly Battle, do you have a spare? I'm still running God Battle. That's a good question. I could double check. Yeah, Heavenly Battle is a big step up over the other units. So, for example, I think Devil Battle is 10%. General, I think, is 5. God Battle is 20. Heavenly is 40% attack speed increase. I had to think about that because I don't usually use the lower level units. But yeah, being 40% faster leads to a lot of stun locks. It leads to, obviously, a lot less gaps in your attacks. So it means you can start using power attack more safely. If you want to think of it in like a visual way, is it 15? I don't recall offhand. But either way, from the standpoint of not using a battle unit versus using a battle unit, if I were to do a heavy attack, it would be the equivalent of you doing a normal and heavy. Or if I just did like a normal, it would be like the equivalency of your heavy attack. So I'm already just way slower. So that's why, like, you can see, like, all my wind-up is so bad with this character, because I don't use the battle unit on him. Nice level load. Damn, I didn't get accuracy. Nice photon draw. See right there? That could be a charge arm. That could be a, that could be a charged Vulcan. I'm sure I have some hand-me-downs if chat is really bored. They're just on a different character bank. I have literally a whole character bank dedicated to just giving items to players. We helped retract a little bit with that last time. I don't mind giving a couple items away. But I do want some photon drops because I'm looking to make big trades. If you are interested in power materials or HP materials or luck materials, I'll go underpriced, whatever the market is. As long as you've played with me on stream, I don't mind. You'll get the discount. Especially during Christmas event, I'm gonna have like literally thousands of materials. I'd rather it go to players that are newer or players that have been on our stream before with that nice discount. The difference of having like 99 power materials versus 0 is astronomical. I mean, it's kind of like the difference of just not using mag or whatever. Got a grand total of 2 PDs. Oh, I just brought the mag. No worries. The mag is a good purchase. That's a good long-term investment. The nice thing about the mag is you can even give it to other characters. So until you can save up, it's just really easy to transfer those items. That's why materials will probably be like 2nd or 3rd, depending on how many characters you have. Like for forces, I view them as like basically mandatory. Mag and everything else worth it. You could get away with some techniques. Things of that nature. Oh, have either of you done what's called a box run before? Do you know what I'm talking about if I say that? We gotta teach you some basics. Hellcleave would be so proud if I taught you the box run. It's a very stupid run. It is what you think it is by definition. Okay, we'll do a box run after this. Okay. So if you need to make a lot of money, we'll show you a quick way to do it. I mean, there's multiple ways to make money. I like doing it by playing Episode 4 Massive Attacks and handing in the tickets, since you have a chance of getting 200,000 randomly every time you hand in the tickets. So I've literally gotten like 4 million or more just handing in tickets. So I don't even bother shopping for the most part. But I'll show you if you want to get some basic techniques. And this is useful, especially as I said before, if you ever want to make a force in the future, or you just want to... Maybe you just want some level 20s, maybe you want some level 30s. There's a little place we could go to. It's recommended that you bring Hell. Obviously, if you're a new player, you might not have it. So I'll help carry when it comes to that stuff. But if you happen to pick up a Hell gun, because those do drop as part of the presents in the Christmas event, just be aware that that then just opens up a whole run for you. Some people only do that run all day. So, like, technically it could help a lot. Oh, oops, why am I using Razan? It's Robardo land down here. I'm being silly. Nice kill on the pan arms. Good damage, good damage. I like that emote. Ooh, present. Hopefully you got something nice. Congratulations. Happy to help people get presents. I'm very uncreative when it comes to the emotes, and I have so many characters, so don't expect a lot from me. When it comes to those anyway. PDs. I mean, as I said before, when you're a new player, PDs are probably your best friend. Especially if it was more than 1 PD. If you got like 3 PDs, like that's actually huge. That could literally be like your shield or armor and other things for endgame. Oh, speaking of which, for both Retract and Colette, do either of you have a Ranger wall? I would highly recommend looking into getting one if you don't have one. That's what I consider one of those game changer level items. And it's usable. You do have a Ranger wall, that's good. Yeah, so there's certain items in this game that allow you to go beyond your max stats, since this game does cap your stats based off your character class. And combo species, etc. The Ranger Wall basically lets you emulate one of the best shields in the game as a Ranger as early as, like, what, level 30 or something, or 31? Which is really funny. So just having 20% accuracy on every attack and then even more on your third hits is kind of broken. Now, you could go back to that quest I talked about earlier, Gallon Shop, and technically do a lot of button mashing minigames for it. Or you could pay for it. 41. Thank you, Imperameter. Welcome, Imperameter. I think Imperameter, can you do a set damage check for me? How much does Dwarfon do? Does it do 708 or 702 with Dwarfon charge? I'm trying to decide if Colette here will survive Dwarfon if we do episode 4. I know they're close. A 710, I think they should be fine. So I could just take another safety level if I really need to. Silly lilies, you don't get to do anything to me. Ooh, a luck material dropped. You know what also dropped? Arcrise Phantasia's OST. There we go. Just YouTube was like, are you sure you're listening? Yes. Silly YouTube. I'm happy we ended up getting some presents on stream. Well, obviously me very happy from actually getting a valid present drop this year. Instead of just oops all paint. The paint tilts me, chat. Don't see it on the wiki. There used to be a Excel lingering around. I don't know what happened to it. Could you check? I would have thought it would have been on the I think it's literally called set damage on the wiki. Did they not add it there? Because I thought they added that for all the attacks. They moved it off of some of the individual monster pages and into that. Because I think for a while it was on some of the pages. But I know that, for example, you can look up Ogaflow on the wiki, and it's on the set damage list versus the page directly. Yeah, double check. There should literally be a new page. Well, I say new, but new relative to when it first came out. But it's been around for like a year and a half or so. They've been slowly compiling a list there. I think it's there. Because I think enough people just asked for it. It might literally just be called like... It only has ultimate difficulty from what I remember. So that's why I was like trying to figure out challenge mode, and I was like, damn. Not quite there. 700. Oh, it's 720, really? Damn. Fortunate. We need more levels then. Is there a place I could check market rates for various trades? I think Imperameter has the ability to post links, but if not, there's a Google search you could do called Ephinea Price Guide. You search that in Google, it should be the first result. It'll take you to the wiki. The people will... It gives you a general idea of how much items are, in case you're just looking in general. There's also the Ephinea Discord itself, where the trading happens. That'll have like the literal day-to-day rates. So for example, during events, certain items might be cheaper because they're more abundant, versus the standard price guide, which assumes like no events, etc. So if you do !Ephinea, you'll get a link to the main Discord. You can check the trading tab there. But for the price guide, I'm not sure. There we go. I don't think I have a link for that on my stream. Yeah, I don't have a link. This one real quick. Look at that self-plug. That should give you all the Discords you'll ever need. Getting bullied out of the room. Although I think somebody was saying last time they were having trouble with the Ephinea Discord join. Might have to check their site again. I don't know if that was just a one-off issue or if they genuinely disabled the invite or something. Forgot to check between last stream. Rid of some of those. I just took their invite there. There we go, and Parameter has permissions. I'm pretty sure I gave VIPs an automatic pass. I don't think I censored their links. I was gonna say, you can ask as many questions as you want, Old Greg. I really don't mind. Is there anything I could do with bulk rares? I don't know what you mean by that. Like, I'm assuming you don't mean trading with them. If you're just talking about like random, like, I don't know, like justies or something like that, not much. Maybe there's people that are interested in collecting items with extremely high hit percentage. You can trade those. Otherwise, there's a couple of quests related to red ring plating. So if you look up red ring plating, I think the quest is called the Forge in Ephinea. There's certain ultimate items that can be combined in order to get cosmetics. I would double check the Forge. But generally speaking, not all rares have a purpose. They're just there to help you as you level. Goodbye, Dragon Boss. I mean, if you create a team, you can junk items in the point register in case you're trying to get specials unlocked. But just be warned that we'll let you junk items that you currently have equipped. I would not do that willy-nilly. I would take it very slow in the menuing. Teams will let you access a couple of unique quests, and they'll let you have banners when you go in the lobby. So if you're not already on a team, you can make your own. Or if you want to be on my team, technically I can add you. I have no preference. For people that want to join, the invite is free. Get some of those. I still have a lot of team slots open. Get rid of some of these. I was gonna say, the plus side is you'll see other people that have played on stream before. You'll just see my icon or whatever walking around. You're like, wait a minute. Goodbye, Hildo. No worries, old Greg. There we go. Well, that's we're just taking a little while to spawn there. No worries. As I said before, if you have questions, I don't mind answering. I'm at the point with PSO, I can hold a whole conversation. I'll just occasionally glance at the game and be like, am I dead? No? Yeah, we're good. Just in that order. Some quests require a bit more concentration. This quest does not require concentration. I mean, if I want to be good, I do stuff like this so I can get frame perfect casts. Like, this is what I should be doing if I'm using 100% of my attention towards the game. Then I can recognize, you know, an enemy's about to hit me and I can take little micro steps there. So, like, there's little things I could do. I just don't need to. You know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of whatever. Just like, I'd rather communicate with chat. Poor Hildo. It tried to hit me. Anyway, back to spamming, I guess. Yeah, the reason you want to potentially use this menu or this menu for techniques, as a reminder for people that play PSO, it allows for frame perfect chained techniques. So there's no timing involved, and it ends up letting you stack multiple Gafoes more consistently. Sometimes I've gotten between 1 to 2 extra Gafoes out, since being even just like 10 frames off, or like 8 frames off, adds up if you've been doing it for literally hundreds of presses. So it'll matter if you're looking to stack a lot of damage in a room. So if you do it frame perfect, for example with the unarmed weapon animation of the Faux Newman, that also means that certain enemy types just physically can never harm you, because you attack faster than they can move. But it requires a frame perfect input, because any kind of delay means they can hit you. Exactly, it'll queue it, so there's no timing. So if I do like Gazan here, it'll do it when it's able to, so you'll see like it kind of hovers for a little bit, so I don't need to worry about the timing. You'll see people do at least this kind of equivalency for Volt Op, since Volt Op is one of those weird bosses where it checks your ATP, but you want to use Gazan because your Gazan for some reason does ATP damage to Volt Op, and it doesn't make any sense because it's the only enemy that does that in the whole game, and it's really weird. But you'll see people do that in order to deal with it. Yeah, there's no buffering, unfortunately. So if you miss input, like I'm mashing attack here, it doesn't let you do it. In fact, it punishes you for misinputting it. It's like, oh, are you mashing attack? You only get one attack. The game forces you to play at a slower pace in general. Although, ironically, Forces end up being one of the most complicated characters to play. There's so many menus that they have to go through. Like, I'm in this menu. I'm not even sure if people use this menu. But they need to very quickly swap out their shields on top of their weapons, which is not really a thing that other characters do. So, like, yes, you do, like, kind of juggle weapons as a ranger. But Force is like, oh, I'm in this room, I gotta do this, and I gotta do that. I'm just like... When we're on, like, serious hard quests, I have to do a ton of menuing. When we're on, like, Forest, I don't need to worry about it. I can brain off for a while. Just enjoy Forest before learning that I have to do all those things to do well in single-player play. Because it could definitely be very tiring on the hands to play with Force. Just think of it this way, like, I'm literally just, like, constantly, like, doing menus like this. I can't accidentally double-tap at any point, or else, you know, it messes up the menu. So it could be very, very punishing to miss menu in this game. Don't drop, no. I deserve that. I don't think they have a roadmap, Old Greg, but they are definitely always updating. The big thing that they updated, especially if you're familiar with GameCube multiplayer, there's no longer, damage canceling. If you might have remembered playing back in the GameCube days, if a force was spamming techniques like I'm doing, normally that would actually override the damage dealt to the enemy. That was a really big issue. I think it didn't happen as much on local co-op, but if you ever played the online version of it, basically everybody just kept overriding each other's damage, and it was terrible. The certain character classes were like borderline unplayable, for example, due to this issue. And it was to the point where it'd actually be more effective in a 4-player group if everybody was shooting a boss for just the person with the highest ATP to attack the boss, which is very counterintuitive and felt terrible. But yeah, it's gone now. That was one of the biggest changes, so I'm like, that alone means I will probably never do the other versions of this game. Yeah, so it's like I can actually play the character. Oh, I think it's the left one. There we go. We're doing a blind choice. That was a memory test for me. I was like, I think that one won't kill me. So yeah, just things like that. Generally speaking, they've been adding quests like every few months, so sometimes they hold contests for people to add new custom quests. And in general, the thing from last year, which is present, and we might show it off on stream at some point, is the ability to basically put enemies from different episodes into one area. So like right now we're in forests and we're only fighting forest monsters, but they basically developed the concept of the omnispawn. So you would end up being able to fight like the Ilgils in Tower, the Dorfons from episode 4, and you could also fight like Darkbringers from episode 1. Yeah, I think if you would probably have to reach out to them to some extent. I'm sure they're welcome. Like, I don't think they're gonna say like hard no to it, but they might have to, you know, they might make suggestions or whatever. You're a software developer by trade. Nice. But yeah, I was gonna say there are people that go into, because I was gonna say QEdit I think is the thing that they use, so that I guess that's convenient from that standpoint. I do stuff, but I don't use QEdit, so I'm like, I don't really know the process that well. But yeah, they used to do contests and stuff. I'm sure if you ask on the main Discord itself, they would definitely be happy for people looking for stuff. I know, for example, they've gone back and modified existing quests to account for changes that Ephinea has over the GameCube version. So I'll give you an example. One of the more recent changes was dealing with how annoying Sorcerer and the Zoo the Flying Bird, which you might not have seen, monster, from dropping their items out of bounds. It was like really irritating that they could just clip into like the no man's land because they're flying monsters, or they would teleport over a gap, like in the Chaos Sorcerer's case, and that item is lost forever. So one of the things they ended up doing was saying that they changed how the spawn behavior is, and all those items now always go to their spawn point. But due to this, some of the older quests had items that weren't reachable because they put their spawns in kind of weird areas. So sometimes they'll have help from the community, or Ender, I think, is usually the one that makes a lot of those changes. So that way the item spawns or move slightly, etc., etc. Like, for example, in Christmas Fiasco, they blew up rocks recently. You can access items that are in kind of awkward places when you're done with the quest. But just generally speaking, there's just a lot of quality of life that even if you ignore a lot of things, like, see how I have, like, when I hit the tab button, I have the second amount of commands down here. Ephinea allowed the ability for those commands to not go away when I had Mag Blast. I cannot tell you how annoying that was before, to the point I didn't use the other control panel at all, because it felt terrible being locked out whenever you had Mag Blast. There's just like a whole bunch of little things. Like, I could probably name like 100 things that they did. Even things like, did you know that you couldn't get rare items from the Dark Gunners in Ruins unless it was the leader unit? So like 4/5 of those enemies were just dead drops. Stupid stuff like that. Or my favorite, if Bullclaw splits up and it deposits its claws in episode 1, it didn't drop rare items at all. So you'll see some of those impacts if you go back and check the classic mode, where they kept it closer to GameCube, because they did not do those quality of life changes. And I'm like, listen, I'm not going back to those. I'm not that nostalgic. I like the game, but you know, I really want to see some enhancements to make it more palatable for the modern age. Speaking of palatable, let's not get bullied here. Yeah, even just the ability that everybody has their own separate drops is huge. That was a thing that's not in regular PSO. You'll still share drops. You can technically turn on the mode to share drops if you want to. It's still there if you do challenge mode, for example, as well. But having all these individual drops is kind of nice. Yeah, it's not like they've not really added quote-unquote new weapons to the game, per se. Closest are maybe like the type of weapons that drop as part of an event. Like, they're technically in the code. Like, technically. It is what it is. But they're not better than, like, other alternatives that exist. It's like, I'm okay with that. Or even things like, Galatine being usable at all beats of the day instead of only usable at certain times of the day. Because it used to suck that I would have to play at like 6 a.m. in order for the weapon to actually do anything. That kind of stuff drove me wild. I'm like, I'm glad that's gone. Yeah, XP share is another great one. Great example. Challenge mode, you still have to tag everything. I was like, man. It's like, oh no, I gotta play my regular PSO rules in challenge mode. Ugh. Oh, I don't miss you. It's like, that's unfortunate. I guess I play the mostly as expected experience when I play challenge mode. Although at least I still have my add-ons for challenge mode, so I don't have to check every drop for, you know, is this a tri-fluid, is this a diamade, etc. Yeah, there's even ones that are a bit more subtle that you might not have noticed. Like, for example, you have the ability to actually mark items in hex code, what colors they should appear on the minimap. So if you want materials to pop out, I've made them yellow on my mini-map, for example. Or like, escape dolls I think by default are green, photon drops are always red. But even things like trimates, trifluids, etc. I've marked on the mini-map so I can see where they are color-wise, and I have full custom control over the colors. What should we run next, is the question. Oops. I keep talking to him by accident. I think we need one more level on Colette. Would it be worth risking episode 4? Just thinking. Oh, box reset. Thank you. See, I totally forgot. Short-term memory issue. Alright, so I'm going to show you something stupid. We're going to call them the box runs. I'm going to switch to a very specific character. I would recommend only picking Sky ID, but technically you could do it on Red ID as well. The reason you do it on Sky ID is technically in order to get a high hit percentage caliber. Sky ID has the highest chance of calibers dropping, aka the big swords. And it has okay drops from boxes. Yeah, we're going to show you something dumb. If you have enough ATP, you don't need Hell. So I'm going to do the Hellless version of this quest. It's definitely faster to use Hell, but I'll show you that HuCast doesn't play by any rules. If you had any doubt about how broken this character was, I'm going to show you me bullying some enemies real quick. So the first thing you got to do is make a game an ultimate, or whatever your highest difficulty is. If you have Megid at a decent level, technically you could use Megid in place of Hell. For me, I'm a HuCast. I am the Megid. Like, nothing is going to survive multiple combos for me. There's only, I think, 7 enemies. I've never really counted. I think it's 7? No, it might be a bit more. It might be 9. There's only 9 enemies you technically have to kill in the entire run. If you don't mind it taking a little longer, technically you don't need Hell, and you can play it super safe. So what is a box run? A box run is when you go into Extermination, and you choose a quest called Phantasmal World 3. Now this quest will take you to Seabed. This quest is normally quite long, but it has a very special room in it that people will call the box room. So all you have to do in order to complete a box run is reach the box room. So let's go to that box room now. Here's an example of an enemy that you could Hell to kill, or I could just kill them nearly instantly with a HuCast with no buffs. You know, just casual HuCast things. Like, listen, he's just in my way. I need him to perish. If you have Shifter, you can Shifter me. Otherwise, I'm HuCast, I'll probably kill it anyway. The other trick to remember, for those that don't know, do not look at the enemies in the corners. Keep your camera facing forward. If you never look at them, they don't exist. I'm not even kidding with you. There's a Morphos behind me. Do not look at it. We're going to just look with our character model, and I'm going to shoot it. Whenever you look at it, you get shot. Yeah, there we go. There's the Shifter. I'm going to straight bully them because I'm HuCast. You can see I'm keeping the camera still. That stops it from lasering you. That's a little fun fact for people that don't know about that. That enemy is not as hard as you think. If you have freeze traps, you could freeze this entire room. And believe it or not, there's only one enemy left. I will say, though, that if you do this as a non-cast, just be aware that there's a somewhat annoying trap that is right beyond this doorway. Shoot it right there. And then one enemy. So wait for everybody to enter the room. Because PSO's kind of jank sometimes. We're going to make sure everybody loads into the next room. And believe it or not, you have completed the box run. This is the entire run. I'm not joking with you. This is the run. So I think you can see why we call it the box room. Every single one of these has a chance of dropping you techniques, lots of armors, lots of Meseta, and yeah. If you're lucky, you can just get a whole bunch of upgrades. If you want to pick up these armors to sell them, by all means, take some time, sell them. Like, that's the whole point of the run. You might as well enjoy it. So people will empty out their entire inventory in order to just sell repeatedly. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of an extension to the box run. That was Phantasmal World 3. That's the whole run. Now, if you're willing to do a little extra check as Sky ID, I'm going to show you a little extra. You don't have to do this, but you could kill this room, And shift those speed this up significantly. Yeah, like, I'm almost combo killing with base default buffs. It's kind of funny. Anyways, here's a little trick. Practice walking down this hallway without looking at the enemy. So whenever you see your camera starting to move, just tilt the camera to go backwards. I'm gonna just make my camera constantly look behind me. And then when I'm close enough, I can take a pot shot. I'm almost close enough. So you can see I'm not getting hit because I'm not looking at him. So you do that check because you could get a Twin Blaze, which is the weapon I was just using here, which is good for opening boxes, but more importantly is good at stopping charging enemies. So raw casts don't have the ability to cast Gafoe unless you have Twin Blaze. Hue casts are a similar situation. So we only have a little bit more of the run to do. This is what I would do as a Hue cast. You could kill that enemy and then just kill these enemies optionally. Oh, I messed up. I no longer messed up, we're good. The reason I kill them is that if you need a little bit of XP, this quest can sometimes end up in what's called RBR, or the Roggle Boost Road. I'm gonna play by dropping too much knowledge. No worries, that's what the stream recording's for. You can always go back. The Roggle Boost Roads are quests that have enhanced drop rates, like XP, rare, etc. Not all of them are good. You'll see me skip a lot of them because I don't care about it. But in the event, if you remember at the very start of the game, so you guys can stay there if you want. I just want to show on stream real quick. If you recall, when we first went through the very first door of the game, there was a series of boxes that were up at the top. So I'm just going to go back so you have a visual reminder. There's a door here with 6 boxes. If a photon drop was here, I'm assuming chat in-game did not see anything drop of importance up here. But in theory, if something important dropped there, the room that they were in, if you go up, will connect you to the room that we're in. The downside, getting to that room with those boxes is annoying. So you just kind of hope every time you do a box run that nothing important is on that upper level. Because let me tell you, that is actually really annoying to do, because you gotta kill Del Beaters and all these other annoying things. So I will not do that because they do not need it, nor do I want to do that because it's very annoying. But the box run itself is just going there over and over and over and doing silly resets. And it actually gives you a weirdly good amount of XP in solo. Like, it's not like towards the future good, but you would be surprised how much you could level a level 80 character doing like 10 box runs and ending up with all those items. Trying to think if there's any other dumb runs we could do. Oh, I could show you another dumb run while we're here. Let's slash lobby. And we're gonna do another episode 2 quest. This one's a bit harder, but it's still equally as dumb. So there is a weapon in the game that all Sky ID characters want to get. It is called the Sealed J Sword. It is a rare weapon. It is only available on that ID and is only available on a very annoying enemy. So, I'm going to show you a very quick run that people do when they're very bored and they're waiting for people to be ready to play additional games. So sometimes we'll do it here. So, similar to doing Phantasmal World 3, which is Seabed, there's Phantasmal World 4, which is Tower, which is one of the harder areas in the game. So I will advise for the people in my team, if you have Zalor, I would highly recommend you bring it. If you have Demons as a Ranger, I would bring it. If you don't, it's not the end of the world. We just need to have Frozen Shooter out, and you need to Frozen Shooter the enemies. That's my only request. You could bring one or the other, but one of the above has to happen. So anyway, this run is not very long. It's like, again, like 7 enemies. And the reason you do this is because Tower has some of the best boxes in the game. So think of every area as having a designated pattern that says you can find up to X hit percentage on this item, and this is the quality of items that are here. So Tower is the end of end games. So every weapon has a chance of dropping with like potentially up to 90 in 3 categories. So technically some of the best weapons available are here. And people will run it on Sky ID not only to check the boxes really quick, which I don't remember if they're stronger than Seabed offhand, but they're very close in value, I'll put it that way. I don't remember if Seabed uses the full pattern or not. But to me, that's not relevant at the moment. What is relevant is showing this runoff. So the very first thing that you're going to see as a cast is there's going to be, or even as a human character, there's going to be a box right in front of you. That box right in front of you looks like a cargo container, is going to have an enemy called an Ilgil. So I need the team to be ready to freeze and demons and do whatever, because it's about to spawn. I'm going to walk forward and spawn it. I'm going to go ahead and freeze trap it. I'm going to bully it. Thank you for the shifter. Actually, shifter alone, maybe we're good enough. I forgot, Qcast is broken. So, my bad. That's only like one of the tankiest enemies in the game. I just marble comboed. So for Gibbles, I recommend you stay along the sides. Do not be out in the open like you are currently. You will get jumped at. So Gibbles has a weird glitch. Oh, we're not going to see it, unfortunately. Gibbles has a weird glitch where if your back is to a wall, he wants to jump at you, but he can't. So like if the team were not to freeze this Gibbles that's about to fall, he shouldn't be able to jump at me. He might be able to walk at me, but that's the best that he could do. So if you see him about to jump and you put your back to the wall, it'll look like he's flexing on you repeatedly and not able to do anything else. Okay, I'm just making sure we pop some boxes because they were on the other sides of those crates. It looks like we popped the boxes. I'm going to go ahead and kill the Gaiguis that are in the next room. If the team makes a hard right, they can see that there's some boxes there as well in the little container. Did I get debuffed? Oh, I got debuffed. That really sucks. Getting debuffed there sucks. I got a soul atomizer to remove that. So we're gonna make sure that somebody opens those boxes over there, and we're good. The run is almost over. Goodbye, Gaigui. Unfortunately, I lost my shifter earlier because I got debuffed. Alright, so we're almost done with the run. This last Gaigui is literally the last monster. Oh! That feeling when I mismenued. I mismenued. I deserve that. I hit the Daimate, but I hit it too slow. Too sad. Rip Scape Dog. Anyway, so that's the run. That's the run in its entirety. As long as you check those boxes, you just go back there and maybe there's something good. Unfortunately for me, nothing of interest dropped. I could sell these shields if I want to, though. Might pick them up for later. You are now 721 health. That is a perfect amount of HP. Look at that. The joke runs have resulted in the level up that I was looking for. Mission accomplished. Alright, let's try a harder area. See how we do. I'm gonna go switch into another force. I'm just thinking which one. Do I want to do red ID? I guess I'll do red ID. Alright, let's switch out. Yeah, Demon and Paralysis is pretty strong in episode 4 if you have it. Freeze traps are also good, but there's a couple of key enemies that we can't freeze at all, even with Frozen Shooter. You want to be more reliant on the other characters. I guess I could bring in hot stuff. I guess that's fun. So there's a very specific quest that people run over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And since we're playing with 2 rangers, they should probably learn about this quest. And it's the Massive Attack B or E. It doesn't really matter which one we do. We'll probably do the boss one, though. So this quest XP will be stupid broken. Oh, I was looking to see if I had adepts. I might not have taken them off. Unfortunate. Give me 1 second. Thank you for the good luck, Calvation. Gibbles is such a cute name for a beastly creature. Missed that earlier. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's quite a name. Well, I have an adept, and I can take 2 heavenly HPs. That'll be good for later. Perfect. So if people didn't have enough health, I can technically loan them a heavenly HP. 1 adept I think will do for now, but I definitely need to make sure I pour full fluids for this. So what is this quest? This quest is going to be a whole bunch of enemies. I will recommend, though, that even if you're a ranger, to have a melee weapon. If you don't have a melee weapon, it's not the end of the world, but just be aware that as a cast, you will need to confuse trap. They look like weird lizard slug things with armor plates. If you see those armor plate creatures, those are not your friends. Those are the anti-ranger enemies. You need to confuse trap them. So if you got a partisan or a high damage weapon, I would bring it. Otherwise, you'll be able to use guns in majority of the quest. Now, why do people run this quest that we're about to do? So we're gonna do, I think, the boss quest over the other quests, which is Massive Attack E. And the reason people do it is there's an item called the Cannon Rouge. The Cannon Rouge could be dropped on several IDs, but the one that is run the most common is Red ID. So I picked the Red ID Force that I have. Force is hard bully everything in episode 4. And it gives you access to Cannon Rouge on the surface from a very common enemy. The Cannon Rouge is a boss killer. Once you get this, you can bully more than half the bosses in the game with just this weapon. You're fighting Dragon in episode 1 or episode 2, you can murder them. Oh, welcome, Clarice. Wasn't sure if that's in parameter or not. Just got to 80, nice. So you could Cannon Rouge in order to kill all flying enemies in terms of boss forms. It multi-hits things like Worm if you don't have a better weapon. It can trigger traps and other weird things at a long distance. If you remember in Mines, sometimes there's that little switch you have to kill. It is in parameter. Cool, cool. So if you remember in Mines, there's those little switches that are in the air, or sometimes they're in, like, the wall itself, that'll kill the dub witches. The Cannon Rouge will hit the wall and kill it through the wall. So it's not only a good utility item, but it's also a boss killer, and it also does decent damage in general. You won't use it over some of your other choices, but it's good. Yeah, you'll need Red ID for it. You can play it with other IDs for different items, but we'll show it off once everybody's here. I'll leave it on the quest so that way people that want to pay attention can go here. It's really, really, really easy for forces to run. It's a little harder for other characters to run. So you'll see Rangers have something called Heaven Striker and Striker units, so they pew-pew laser everything. So we're going to go to Maximum Attack in episode 4. There's a quest called Maximum Attack E, episode 4. I'm going to select that quest. You get something known as tickets, which are extremely overpowered. Like, let me tell you, you might get really lucky with those tickets and get something called the Girasol, which I think is about a 500 attack power weapon that multi-hits, which is way better than basically everything that you will have had gotten up to this point. So that by itself, they might give you a weapon to kill the satellite lizards, which is hilarious. So Rappies, you can shotgun. So right now, you can do whatever you want. See that laser coming down? That's known as the Pew Pew Laser or the Heaven Striker. If you see that very goofy looking backpack on the companion right next to me there, they have a thing called the Striker unit and Heaven Striker. Now Heaven Striker is another weapon you can get on Red ID. So you can get all of the core Ranger items in this one quest. It's kind of bonkers. You just have to switch your ID once or twice, and you can get everything you ever need with this quest. So learning how to do this quest is super important. So again, for now, you can stick to whatever damage you want to do. Dues are kind of annoying, but if you have got a charged Vulcan... Okay, so these are the things I'm talking about. If you have no range weapon, or no melee weapons, I would confuse trap them. Is Heaven Striker related to Heaven Punisher? Sort of. They both have the same kind of special. Heaven Striker is much easier to get, but it requires a mag in order to activate the same special that Heaven Punisher has. In Ephinea, they added Heaven Punisher to get an ability called Divine Filter, which means that it will only pew-pew laser. So if you want to do it during odd beats, like right now it's considered even beat. For those that don't know, you look at the 100 digits in the bottom right-hand corner, it says 036. 0 is considered even for whatever reason, and it's fine. And while it's even beat, your weapon does pew-pew laser. So you'll see people conditionally run this quest because pew-pew laser is OP. But yeah, sadly our raw moral friend here has way too low health. But we managed to get Colette up to 721, which we established is enough to survive the other nonsense. So anyway, enjoy the ridiculous XP from this quest, by the way. Yeah, like every enemy is worth 668. I think it's like triple what was in Forest, by the way. So expect our level 80 friend to probably hit 83 or 84 by the end of the quest. So generally speaking, what would you focus on if you're a ranger? I would say ignore the lizards for the most part. If you see them, don't worry about it. Force and I will clear it. if you see a zoo, like see towards the entrance where we came from, if you can shoot those and kill those, that's your attack priority. So see those birds? Kill the giant birds if you see them. They're very annoying. Everybody come near me. So this is a knowledge check, but I need everybody to come near me immediately. Team, please come near me. Team. Well, you guys are super dead. It's like, yep. So anyway, the reason... Okay, so one thing I'm going to have to state, we have to be close together during certain waves. So if you see me say the hello, I need you to come over to me. The reason being is if you don't do that, enemies are kind of all over the place. Stream is delayed. You should just be able to pause and restart if it got delayed. At this point, there shouldn't be any stream delay. Other than, like, natural 1 or 2 seconds. But in either case, the universal hello means that I need everybody to gather. You'll see sometimes if they have the icons, you'll see people do this as well. We'll teach the mannerisms of PSO. I only have access to this, so I tend to only do that one. Still a big delay. Sorry about that then. Well, in any case, let's go ahead and murder through everything here. I can't help if Twitch is putting a delay in. I'm not seeing any delays on my side. I'm still at 0 drop frames. I'm not sure what caused the delay. But anyway. From the standpoint, I'll try to alert with that icon, so that'll beat the stream delay regardless. So I need them to kill the giant pink birds. They can ignore these if they want to. I mean, if they got melee, they might as well do something, but it's not mandatory they do anything, to be honest. With the force and a pew-pew laser, we don't really need too much here. It's super important that our other characters, if you see Astarks, those need to die. Take some time killing those. They're the giant mantis things that we're fighting currently. So these enemies right here. We're talking about before, Cannon Rouge. These enemies drop the best weapon in the game, basically for Rangers. Unfortunately, I didn't see any drop here. So sad. So anyway, we're gonna let them kill the Astarks. Good freeze. Good job, team. Now there's gonna be a big bird. Let's all come together. Ooh, I barely stopped that one. Here we go. Good job, team. So sadly, the Dorphons are immune to freeze. Or else this would be a lot easier. This is where potentially having something known as V501 or V502 is helpful. So if you have, like, for example, a paralysis item, like Spread Needle, or an Arrest Needle, you'd be able to stop them from charging. It's not mandatory you bring it on the quest, it just makes it a little cleaner in terms of clears. Once we're past this, the quest honestly just gets a lot easier. The Dorphons are kind of brutal, which is why I didn't want to come here with, like, super low-level characters. So chat now understands why I was like, okay, we're gonna make sure you have more HP. Now the rest of this area, not that hard to clear. Goodbye, enemies. More chances at the best weapon in the game. Let's see what happens. Or one of the best. I shouldn't say the best. The best is probably Excalibur. Which you could also, I think, technically... Yeah, you can get it in this quest, technically, yeah. A couple different characters. Quest is good to learn. Nice freeze. Deal with the Astark. Goodbye. Do I have Revarda merch on? I don't. Well, as long as we have PP Laser, I guess that's fine. So there's a certain boss that's weak to Revarda at the end. So generally, if I have anything that buffs ice, I want to have it. I could get away without using it like once or twice, but if I'm the only DPS, I need to bring it. So fortunately for the newer players, they don't really have to learn the boss yet. Unless they have a Cannon Rouge, I'd actually recommend that they just kind of wait around a little bit and protect each other. Ooh, Disco Brayman drop, but sadly nothing of a hit drop. Unfortunate. Oh, I'll hello at some point. There we go. So we know the danger wave is coming. There we go. We'll do a nice little group hug here. So again, this is more of a knowledge check. We wouldn't expect you to know offhand. I'll put a little happy fireball down. I swear if there's a dwarf on a clear here, I'll get tilted. Okay, good. Ouch. Ooh, the demon. Oh, somebody's demon needling. I'm assuming that's a parameter. That was an unnatural health loss. Let me put it that way. They don't just all simultaneously lose 7,000 health. I'm like, might be some challenge mode weapons in our midst. So anyway, if you're curious about how powerful challenge mode weapons were, yeah, that did just do like 7,000 instantly. I swear I blinked and they took that much damage. That was kind of insane. Oh, challenge mode weapons, you're so silly. Demon Needle is life. I want to get to it at some point. We got to complete our other run. So I'm going to wait for everybody in the next area. I'm not going to spawn the enemies yet, though. So here's the rule of thumb for Underground. If at any point you see birds by themselves, trouble is usually after it. So these first few waves, it's okay to not remember what they are, but know when you see two zoos by themselves that something bad is probably about to happen to you. Episode 4 has a philosophy that they like putting enemies that are really annoying to kill with fire right before a wave that really needs a lot of fire. So you'll see, like, for example, the Goron detonators were there and they're not weak to fire. These things are weak to fire. So there'll be a lot of things that'll stop me from stacking, which is kind of annoying. But what I'll end up doing, let me debuff for the team, get a change of fortune. That's unfortunate. It's kind of a good fortune. I doubt it'll be better than the one we had previously. Oh, there we go. There's trouble. So there's these things called Marissas that everybody loves to hate. My recommendation is Frozen Shooter or Shotgun, and don't get close to them. They're very annoying. They're very, very annoying. They will hop at you. They will freeze you. You don't want to see. Oh, you don't want to see them do things. So I equipped a nice little fire scepter to boost my damage there. I don't want to see what they do. Ideally, if I perform well, we don't get to see what they do. Anyway, I'm gonna keep Gafoi stacking. So your job is to make sure that I don't get hard bullied. If I get hard bullied, all the damage in the room is gone. There we go. Bully prevention system. I love that we're already 113, retract leveled. We had a level 80 character that's level 84 already. We haven't even reached the boss, by the way. We're not even at the XP part of the quest yet, believe it or not. As I said before, this quest is like bonkers when you have really good stats. And also you'll probably be noticing really high level techniques dropping throughout. Like I see some level 17 Restas, level 18s, level 28s, level 29s. So you could end up with level 20 techs just by coming in here. Okay, this is my favorite room in the game. I'm gonna Rabarda. As long as you don't walk in a dead straight line, you can make all the zoos dive bomb you. That's a little AI manipulation for you. If you're dead center in the room, you can debuff everybody. These enemies are a big problem. I would recommend Frozen Shooter on them or Shotgun, depending on what you have access to. Treat them as very annoying high priority targets, and locking them down is worth using freeze traps on. I'm going to give you an example. On the next wave, oh, there's going to be a delay, so we can't time it very well. But we know that there's going to be some that spawn over here. If you're able to hit this wave next time we play this quest, and remember that after we kill the Marissas, that you can freeze this wave, that saves a lot of time. So you as a trap user should learn where the Goron detonators are. Me as a force, I need to know where the Marissas are in order to make sure that I'm stacking Gafoi. So I have to purposely stop attacking whatever wave we're doing in order to make sure Marissas don't get to do anything. So see in this example, I was stacking Gafoi. So what that does for people that don't know what that means is that this fireball spell will inevitably multi-hit enemies that are spawning. So see how those Rappies just took 2,000 damage? That was from all my stacked fireballs or stacked Gafois. So as long as I'm always stacking, I'm able to do a massive amount of damage, to to the point that the team can literally just insta-kill certain enemy waves with high-level characters. Now, this character isn't completely optimized. Well, I say that he has Gafoi Merge, Ignition Cloak. Well, technically, he's 10% off. He's missing Magical Piece. But the more fire boosts you have, the more damage you'll do with it. To the point where you can just one-shot entire crowds. It's kind of nice. Okay, so what I would recommend... Fine. They're going to tell them to go to back of room. So this is, again, kind of a knowledge check. So there's going to be some Goron detonators, so hopefully we can deal with these. So if we could disable these, this would be huge. Good freeze, good freeze. Alright, so I know there's nothing that I need to stack on right away. Alright, so I'm going to very quickly type. I'm not used to typing it out, but yeah, so they'll stay in the middle. So once that happens, we should be able to clear it out. So knowing where these are like a huge time save. Because this makes the run very, very clean. Like, look how easy that was because the freeze trap was there. So I'll test my ranger knowledge because I play the forest. I don't need to learn where those are, but I'm learning gradually. But learning where those are huge. So I'm going to teach a little trick. So here's an example. I knew that there was Marissa's here, but joke's on them, they'll die to Fireball. As long as the team walks near me, they should just die really quickly. You don't have to do anything special. You can freeze this wave, I guess, technically. I don't know if it's worth freezing. Maybe? It just depends on team damage, whether that's worth freezing, I guess. I was going to say back of room, but I can't type because I was using spells. So that's the only other wave I think you need to learn. Once you can freeze those Goron detonators, even with Frozen Shooter, big time save, because those things really mess up forces. I think this is time for a little trick. So basically what'll happen there is if the Rawcast goes in first and throws a Confuse Trap in the middle of the room, what'll happen is if we give them a little bit of space... Oh, I should have said for the other people to wait. So if they throw a Confuse Trap there, it actually causes them all to just fight each other, and it saves a lot of time. So now he's in a perfect position to deal with the Goron detonators. Alright, so now I'm going to say come to middle for freeze now. Oh, next one. I'm not used to typing it out. It's hard to do that. But anyway, so there's going to be, like, Marissa's. There's going to be Goron detonators. He's going to be here a while. So if he has any freeze traps, might as well just burn them all. Like, there's no reason not to. Yeah. So as long as he's here, he's in a good position. Now, if I'm perfectly between the two of these, I cause the Rappies to not run away. But basically, as long as he's here, he can just kind of cheese out every wave. So yeah, he needed to freeze that. That's fine. If he didn't freeze it, it's fine. I'm here to do some damage. Only a few waves left. Go wild with freeze. Oh, I got Heaven Striker. Oh. Oh. I wasn't expecting one. Okay. Well, I just got one of the best guns in the game. That's all good. I'm just doing casual stuff. Yeah, go wild with freeze traps here. There we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. There we go. So, essentially, the Rawcast has observed the quest. The more they run it, the better they'll get at it. All I would recommend, Rawcasts, learn where the Goron detonators are. Marissa's also kind of help, but if you learn, like, oh, there's trouble here, well, you'll remember in this room, you kind of go middle, back, middle, 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 and everything's in the middle. That's fine. This room is not the hardest to learn. Okay. So next strat. Team split slightly apart while walking to the center. Then ambush boss. Okay. Hopefully that would be good enough. I know there's a bit of a stream delay, so I type there. Essentially, what will happen for the other people listening on stream is that there's going to be a bunch of spinners. They're color-coded, so red gives you the most pause time. I'm going to walk a little bit apart from people. The reason we do this is because spinners will spawn around allies. Okay, so it's not a rare boss. This boss can also be rare, by the way. So people will split a little further apart so spinners don't group on our other characters. This will give you an opportunity to dodge. So we're going to look for the color-coded ones. When we hit the color-coded ones, we'll get the ability to actually fight the boss. So that's a yellow one. That's kind of a bad one to fight. Is there any other ones? There's an orange one. I'll do that one. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So let's do some damage to the boss here. So we're gonna go to next phase. So I'll explain it. I'll walk them to it. I'll let Ertemperometer start the boss off, but I'll show them where to stand. So there's a special spot to ambush this boss. Okay, so we're gonna come over here. So he's gonna start off the boss. We don't need to worry about it. This boss has multiple phases, just so we're clear. Okay, stand right about. Alright, so I'm gonna, yeah, he'll come here soon. Oh, spinners. Speaking of spinners. There we go. That was good timing to dodge those spinners. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to revive Ertemperometer since he doesn't have enough raw health to survive the boss. That's kind of the downside of coming in with too low HP. But he's probably just gonna die again here. There's not much that can be done here. I was gonna say, I don't know if you have more HP ups in Ertemperometer. You need a lot of health for this laser. I think you need, like, literally triple. Yeah, you might actually need to leave Ertemperometer. Unless you can hit it a lot. Well, I guess I can moon a little bit. Alright, so I'm using as much retard as I can. The reason we're using lasers and everything like that is we want to make sure we evenly damage all the cores. If both of us do well and we evenly damage the cores, that'll mean we skip some phases of this boss fight. Oh. Revive again. Ertemperometer really burned me out here. Oops. Thought he brought some heavenly HPs, but apparently not. Okay, well, I can't even attack because of all the spinners. Alright, now I think we go for the kill here. Okay, so it has a magic health total. Now it's coming to the group, so hopefully they could deal with it. There we go. So they gotta fight the boss. There we go. They're hitting it. Dodge. Hopefully they... Oh, I was gonna say, hopefully they move out of the way of the laser. That I can't help you with. You gotta dodge that. Alright, so one side of it is weak. Nice. Chat at 800, and boss fight is over. GG. So keep in mind, chat, we have 338,000 experience so far in this quest. Try to make a guess as to how much XP we're about to receive. Go ahead and try to guess. It's gonna be a lot. Chat is probably gonna level off of this. Even I might level. No, I might just barely not level. Oh no, I did level. I lied. 6 feet is insane. So that boss was worth 100,000. There we go. Enjoy some high-level items. Anyway, so this is a great way to level once you have some decent gear. You'll see people kind of in the 120s and above level here. Again, this quest just gets easier and easier. Unfortunately, it has a little bit of a gap. Oh, yeah, we'll show you how to exchange tickets later. But tickets can be used to... If you have at least, I think, 4? There's a quest in episode 2 that you can use for it. Let me double check if I have a better Heaven Striker or not in my bag. Yeah, 880 is the magic number for the other boss. They're not too far from. Retract technically could help if they had a Cannon Rouge. Cannon Rouge evenly damages the boss. Oh, I just have a regular A-Beast. I want to double check. I want to potentially give the group here a Heaven Striker, but probably not the one that has Dark Percentage. You never give up ones with Dark Percentage. Those are like the best ones. But I might have some that are like native or whatever. I don't mind giving away. The reason you want Dark Percentage is that the toughest enemies in the game tend to have Dark as a weakness, and the second highest is usually Machine. So this having Dark and Machine is actually really strong. It might be better than what I'm using currently. There we go. So if I have one that's just native or whatever, I could give that to the group, because that damage is insane. So let me check towards the end of the... Well, not the end of the stream. We'll check in like an hour or so. We'll do at least this quest 2 more times, and then I want to do a quick check. But hey, we got a Heaven Striker. Now we just need to get the group a Cannon Rouge. Yeah, the quest wasn't too bad. Unfortunately, as I said before, the quest does kind of stat check you, so that's why I said, like, we're aiming for 720 to survive Dwarfon, then you need a lot of help to survive the boss, which 880 is a pretty tall order. It's very easy for the Rockcast. The Rockcast already can survive the boss, no problem. like I can survive at 1,000, Retract can survive. The problem is that the boss needs you to evenly damage it, so we would have to loan, potentially, Retract a Cannon Rouge in order to evenly damage the boss. Because he's actually pretty good at hurting the boss, even as is, but it just requires a specific weapon. The Rangers are super good at killing this boss. Forces are okay at it. The one thing that I think I'm going to do before we do this again, I'm going to pull out my Rabarta Merge so I can do a little more damage. So instead of doing 290 or something, I may be able to do 360 of Rabarta, which does make a difference, especially if we miss... I think that 2000 would work. If you for some reason have it, then yes. Oh, I don't have a Rabarta Merge in here. That's so sad. But yes, technically, if you have the Nug 2000 Bazooka, you could use it. It's like a little weaker than Cannon Rouge, but it does the same thing. It's kind of sad because that used to be like the end-all be-all Uber of PSO. At least in terms of like bazookas, but now it's like, it's just okay. But if you got it, there's no reason not to use it. Oh yeah, not that one. Unless that, well actually, hold on a second. Is that actually a bazooka? The game confusingly calls several things bazookas that are not bazookas. Actually that would work. Actually, Anna Bazooka would work. If you have Anna Bazooka, sure, you could use that. It needs to be a... Basically, you know it's the right weapon if it only shoots once, doesn't combo, has a big AoE. So I believe that should work because it's a bazooka-type weapon. That's a good pickup that you had from earlier. Good question. So that'll speed up that other phase significantly, for sure. We basically usually leave one person in the main room or 2 people in the main room. 840 for St. Million, 882 for Shandy, 830. It is such weird... I don't know why Shambardin does so much damage. I think we talked about this before. I was like, why does Shambardin, the easiest of the bosses, do so much damage compared to the rare boss? I don't understand. Yeah, I'm aware this is the damage they do. I remembered it was much higher than the others. I forgot it was 880. That's so silly. So anyway, we may be able to pull Retract into the main room and have him bazooka. So in the event that you're using ATP against the boss, you shoot the cores. So as I said before, we're going to play this quest a couple times, just kind of get used to it. There's a lot of enemy spawns in it, so don't worry if you don't remember them all. We'll help you with the Dwarfons. But rule of thumb, if you see the really tall extendy arm guys, Goron detonators. If you see Zoos, if you see Marissas, those are the things as a ranger, they are priority number 1. They need to die. Like, they need to not exist on this mortal plane any longer. Just end them. Like, drop almost everything to kill those, because those are so terrible. But oh yeah. But anyway, and Parameter's gonna enjoy some massive power levels here. He went up 9 levels in one quest, by the way. If chat missed that earlier. He entered at level 80. He's now 89. Nice bazooka. Sadly, it's not strong enough to use in casual play versus other things. You could just give it a shot if you want. It is funny to see it. Yeah, it's kind of weird because they have weapons called like bazookas and launchers, but they're different weapon styles, even though they look sometimes kind of similar to each other. That's why I did a quick double check. I was like, is the bazooka really a bazooka or is it a launcher? So yes, I think I will give away one of the Heaven Strikers that I have to give to the group. I'm gonna keep the one that rolled better stats. The reason being is that if team is looking for a massive single target damage boost, it's there. If you give it to a raw Marl, you could see this pew pew laser nonsense is insane. So it lets you basically just hard carry all of episode 4. So if you end up getting what's called the Striker Mag, you too can just absolutely devastate episode 4 will not care as raw Marl. Or if you're just fighting, as I said before, falls or something like that that requires single target damage, it's also insanely good. It's also something with so much attack power that it gets over enemies with high defense. But even things like the Panarms in episode 1, if you don't have demons, you might be able to just burst it with Heaven Striker. Honestly, the damage of the gun is insane. Nice, I think that's a red saber. There we go. We're gonna gear as we go. Get a couple of these. I realized I didn't restock Moon Atomizers, so I'm definitely gonna be picking them up as I go. At least I'm back up to 5. So I might be able to get to the end. I should start using Gafoe here, because I know it's going to be oops all satellite lizards. So, yeah, unfortunately with stream delay, I don't know how it's going to work. The zoos will always spawn near the bridge, and then if they're near the bridge, they can fight the Astarks. Ooh, congratulations. There we go, I quick menued real quick. Photon crystals are very strong. They let you get access to some private quests, and they also let you basically add hit percentage to enemy weapons. If you get something like the Bringer's Arm, I think you got on the other stream, and convert that into the Bringer's Rifle, that allows you to add hit percentage to it. So, for example, you have Colette with you. They would be able to potentially use the equivalency of like a Bringer's Rifle to Demon, and then you could have 50% hit on it. So you can end up with like some really strong support items by upgrading some monster weapons, but it requires Photon Crystals. Or you could spend the Photon Crystal to get what's known as a Last Swan or a Master Raven by doing a specific one. Your moons are my scapes, that's true. So in either case, you end up with a lot of damage. Oh, I'm back up to 7. Not bad. Casually just picking up more as we play. Yeah, this quest is so good for XP. And the better weapons we have, the more XP we get, and the more stupid this quest becomes. Like, I think it's entirely possible to get, like, almost 450 XP a second with a solid group. And that's assuming, you know, that's assuming we've all got demons and all these other nonsense items. Probably, like, Q-Cast for all casts, etc. Yeah, really nice to get some levels here. And slowly but surely, we're leveling up Pew Pew Laser. The surface quest here might drop some level 20s for our friends here. Oh, Escape Doll dropped. Probably gonna give that to our friends here. Yeah, if you could freeze these, I would definitely appreciate it. These enemies are super annoying. There we go, perfect. Yeah, that's probably like one of the only surface ones where we like need a freeze trap. Those Babutas are so bad if they get uncontrolled. Fortunately, we have Pew Pew Laser, which negates it a little bit. Done. That's already a whopping 115. Congratulations. All the extra health and just a little bit of extra damage on all these enemies. he got it. Rip. Oh, interrupted my grants. So sad. Oh, do I actually not have escape health? Kind of funny. Thought I did, but maybe not. Hold on. Oops. Okay. Let's go buff the team. The funny thing about pew pew lasers, it doesn't really matter if I shifted them, as its damage is based off of MST. And for some reason in PSO, you don't increase your spell damage with shifter. And that means spell damage usually falls pretty far behind. I really wish it just very gradually boosted MST. That would have been so huge. Nice freeze trap. Appreciate it. I don't want to see those enemies do anything. Get rid of these. Yeah, the only other enemy you would freeze trap other than Goron detonators are Marissas. If you see uncontrolled Marissas, as in they're like full health, bouncing around, about to murder you, by all means, just freeze trap them into oblivion. They deserve it. Yeah, these enemies, if we have like an abundance of freeze traps, we can freeze them, but they're not needed. The layer team's pretty good here. This wave you could, not this wave, I'm sorry. The next wave where there's like 5 on each side, arguably you could confuse trap or freeze trap them, but it's not mandatory. Again, it just depends on team clear, whether it's worth doing. So yeah, there's like a decent number of enemies. Freeze trap. Okay, let's all group up. It's been a while since I did the public communications. Oh, they're out of range. Let them walk a little closer. Perfect. That's not by laser. It's unfortunate. I've been splatted. Hello, Dorpon. Goodbye, Dorpon. Oh, Berserk Arms, no hit percentage. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the other trolly thing. You might have challenge mode weapons, but that's only if they decide to work. Sometimes they're just like, yeah, you didn't earn it today. You only have a 75% chance. You should just miss it 30 times. Take the skip dolls for now for the next area. Probably drop them again in the boss arena. Yeah, definitely was not expecting Heaven Striker. That's usually one of the rarer items to get. That's usually something you get after like 15, 20 runs of this. You might see one, maybe. The fact we got it on the first try is pretty good. Given it's not even like a good boost. Speaking of boosts, what is the forecast for today? Hunters, droids, females. Big oof, I am none of those. I'm gonna switch back to Fire Scepter just to do a little extra damage. There we go, slow down my spell casting a bit. So we know trouble's coming, so I'm just gonna stack some Gapoes. Big bad Marissas are here. Hopefully we don't have to fight rare Marissas, they're more annoying than normal. I was gonna walk forward so I don't spook the Rappies. I'm learning, chat. I'm not gonna spook them, I swear. Every time I come in this quest, I'm like, please don't spook the Rappies during the events. To myself, not to the group. Because my Gafoe can spook them from full screen, so I have to make sure that I know that those are there. Those are like weird things that you don't ever have to worry about as like Ranger or Hunter. Nice level up. But I do have to worry about as the other characters. More accuracy. That's always fun. Also, I just realized I'm not at max MST. That'll be nice when I get there eventually. More escape dolls. I guess I'll pick one up for the group. Yeah, this character doesn't use a whole bunch of items, so even though I'm holding like literally nothing but materials, I could probably afford to give out some items. Team waited for me, I appreciate that. So as I said before, I'm gonna do a little wiggle dance, and that'll cause them to come towards me. They just can't avoid the wiggle. They have to dive bomb you. Yeah, this room, technically you can run ahead and freeze trap them. Like, technically, once the zoos are in the stun lock, you could go in the corner and freeze trap. There's some cute things you could do with freeze traps here, but they're more fancy. Fine. Wait. Freeze right side. Move over here. Yeah, that's the only one that I want to make sure he learns, for sure. Yeah, if he could get that one off, this one is a huge time save. Yeah, there we go. And now he just has, like, free access on a Goron Detonator. Oh! Easy kill. Good. Those are the things that will kill newer players or injured players. So learning to control that wave specifically, it'll be like perfect. People will be so happy that you do that in public games. They'll be like, good. I don't want to see these enemies do anything. So yeah, as I said before, I'll try to share some knowledge with the freeze traps. I'm not gonna claim I'm perfect with it, but I know what the annoying problem waves are. So it's just more of a preference on whether I think it's mandatory or just nice to have. Difluids and trifluids here, huh? I'm gonna let the team do some damage on the zoos. That's not my forte. Music over. Did we finally hit the end of the soundtrack? No. There's still a whopping 21 songs left. Photon drop, nice. Again, this XP is really, really solid. So right now it's on par with completing TTF, and we haven't even gotten to the boss. As I said before, this quest is like insane, and the better gear you have, the better the XP, even more so than like a TTF. So much scalability. Like every one of those was 1,000. So I type real quick. There we go. See that? That's the thing with forces. You gotta think like 3 waves in advance. I'm like, okay, is the thing I'm Gafoing worth killing now? What about the one after that? What about the one after that? So as I said before, I'm like trying to think real hard. I'm trying to view the future and remember where the freeze is. Because freezing those means the Goron Detonator is not knocking people down. And that's the huge thing. Because like, Imperameter 659 health will probably honestly get one shot by the Goron Detonator, critting people. I think Colette would probably survive with 750, maybe. But if they're even slightly injured, then they will die to the Goron Detonator. I respect that freeze. Yeah, if you see them still alive, I respect that. Yeah, here I'm not sure if it's worth confuse trapping or not, or freeze trapping. I guess if you're lined up with them at the bottom, you could. I don't know if it matters. You just rebuff the team real quick. On the plus side, if the team needed any really basic armors, most of the endgame armors will drop like level 80 armors. 4 slots. I think it's like the 5th or 6th one I've seen so far. Nice shutdown of the Goron Detonators. Enjoy the Rockhouse run, yeah. That's my favorite part of doing this run, because I do this as HuCast versus Ranger. It is so fun. So see how they're all fighting him here? Now they're just gonna fight each other, and he can just charge arm them. What are they gonna do? Nothing. Nothing. So our team just has complete open field day on all those enemies. So yeah, learning to do this room properly is huge. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, I missed one freeze trap. That's whatever. You got the other 2, and then you frozen shooter the other one. That's totally fine. Then come back to middle. Hopefully with a stream delay. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. We know there's just going to be a whole bunch of bad enemies back to back to back to back to back. Yeah, there we go. Nice. And then there's going to be another bad wave. And we get like a little bit of a reprieve, and then it's bad wave time. But if you have any freeze traps, you might as well just burn them all. You just need one a wave. When in doubt, you know you're doing well if you're out of freeze traps, but you don't feel like you needed any for an important encounter. If you're ending with like 4 or 5 freeze traps, I would honestly just throw them out like candy. Or if you realize you're gonna level, which is why I like seeing in the bottom right hand corner what my level is. So right now I know fighting the boss is gonna level me because the boss gives 100,000 experience. But in other scenarios, if I'm within like, let's say 20,000 of leveling, I might be able to judge how many freeze traps I can use before a reset. That's kind of like the high level play of this. Also, I forgot to say good evening to Barkeep. I do apologize, but hope you're doing well, Barkeep. I realized I looked at it. I acknowledged in Parameter's question. I did not mean to ignore the good evening. I was in the zone for a little bit. My bad. That was like a good 20 minutes ago. My bad. Let's go ahead and do this. It goes up, need these. Gabarda 29. Fine, I'll learn Gabarda. Are you happy, game? I'm never going to use that spell, but I will go learn it here. Wow, we got here below 20 minutes. That's gross. I'm gonna drop a couple escape dolls for the team if they need it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna pick this up and move on. Rebuff. The same thing as before. We're gonna spread out just a little teeny bit. And then hopefully we should be good here. And the reason we do that is we saw the spinners kind of appeared around us. As long as I'm not the person that initiates the cutscene, we're good. Oh, we don't get to show off rare boss. So there is an alternative boss. It's 1 in 8 chance of it becoming Condrio. This boss, I think, on Red ID gives Heavenly ability, which is a pretty solid unit if you don't have good units. But the Condrio gives you a better version of it, so you get Centurion ability. So instead of 25 to your abilities, it gives 30. Pretty huge. Go bully that thing out of existence. There we go. So potentially with Retract, if you want to try the bazooka here, it should work. This phase, you could damage it unevenly, that's fine. It's more important for this we damage it evenly. So what happens is if every core gets popped, instead of it shooting a giant laser attack and hopping into other rooms and doing all this other nonsense, we just immediately go where we need to go. So for anybody staying behind, my rule of thumb is think of the room as like a giant clock with that crystal as a dial. If you're in like the 5 o'clock position, it's good enough. Like if Retract is coming with us, he can use the bazooka. Otherwise, he's probably fine just using Vulcans, to be honest. Don't need to do anything too crazy. Oh, I almost got punished for Tornado. Wow, a rare almost punished by the boss. Also, yeah, that's right, I didn't have Regard emerge. That's so sad. I'll take that fire damage though. Oh, he actually managed to get hit by spinners and not die. That's kind of funny. I tried. Huh, I wonder why one of my Rebardus didn't reach. No worries. Hello. I'm gonna go for it. Nice, we got it, we got it. Ooh, Parameter's lucky. I picked up a lot of moons. I don't know if people were dropping them on purpose, but I did use quite a bit. Yeah, rip Synchro indeed. Synchro dead forever. Oh, team needs to not stand in front of the giant laser. All you got, if you stand behind it, it will never hit you with laser. That's the rule of thumb. If you're vaguely in front of it, it will hit you. That would be my tip to you. Ooh, ooh, somebody got hit during the cutscene. Ooh, oh, I can't type. Oh, somebody can wiggle. Oh, can somebody walk in the cutscene? I know somebody got hit. I think Retract got hit. Oh, he has nothing to wiggle. Damn. So, hair physics exists. Ooh, break the cutscene. Yeah, break the cutscene. Yeah, take that cutscene. Yeah, there we go. If you get hit, you technically can break out of the cutscene. There we go. Now I'm free. Okay, we're all free now. I don't know if it'll go back to the other cutscene or not. The game will think about it, though. There we go. Nice level up. So what'll happen is if your character has hair physics and you happen to get hit as the boss dies, which you can see, like, if you have TP, you can see it regenerating. If you have HP, it goes there. Yeah, if you have wiggle hair, because you'll see it because it'll move on your character as you walk. You can make your portrait wiggle, which is hilarious. It's very stupid. But it entertains me, so therefore I go for it. Wow, that is some insane levels. So let me get this straight. In 2 quests, Imperameter went from level 80 to 97. Yeah, that seems fair. Right, chat? What do you think? 80 to 97 in 2 quests? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna check one of my character banks for the team. I think chat was asking for a heavenly battle. It's a good opportunity for me to double check. Check one of my character banks real quick. I don't have my character viewer open, or else I would just check manually here. Yes, I have 1 heavenly battle. So many junk items. I can't tell if I have another ability here. Let me go grab that real quick. Anyway, chat. So if you needed materials, by the way, just let me know. I might have a few. Just a couple here and there. Well, if team needed some charge arms, also let me know. Lyrics, please. I'm menuing. Think boss always goes right when it yes. So that's not RNG. If it goes and chooses another room after that, it is RNG. But the first time, it's always on the right. Let me get 1 heavenly battle. I need to get more heavenly battles at some point. Do I not have another heaven striker? I thought I did. I'm gonna check. I feel like I should have one. Sorry for the delay. Fun. Been getting tons of mats since I capped my stats. Nice. That's good. As I said before, it's getting over an initial hump. It's kind of worth paying because you just end up with a lot. It's not worth paying if you've been playing for a while, just because you should have some. But to get through that initial hump in order to then power level quickly, it's so good. Could use 99 power materials and charge on to show how many PDs I'm up to. I don't think I want that many. I don't remember what the going rate of power materials is. If team could verify for that real quick. I could give... I only want a few PDs, honestly. I'm not going to charge you for the charge arm. Need to check this other thing. No, I really don't have another one. I thought I did. Must be on another character. It was 6 per 99. Okay. I really don't have any more heavenly battles. Damn, I gotta start farming those. It's kind of annoying. I'm gonna need them for my future characters. Okay. Alright, let's say... just give me 4, and that's fine. I'll take the 4. I'll get you a charge arm with that on top of that. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I'll make a game for Evil to do it. We'll get them a Heavenly Battle, a Charge Arm, and for 4 PDs, I'll give them the 99 power. That's good enough. I'll make the game. It'll just be Ziggy. I'll leave it on normal. Yeah, because I want to make sure that you get the power that you need to start getting your own PDs. I don't want to charge full market price for that. That's just silly. But what I can do in the meantime is take a charge arm, not one of my ones with dark. Do this. You see a random photon drop on the floor. Let's give you the charge arm. It's 4 photon drops, that should be good. Let's give you the 99 power. Those. And then I owe you, I think, a Heavenly Battle. Give me 1 second. Put that in there. Oh, I contributed 1 more? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get more Heavenly Battles for the future. I'm not in, like, a rush to get them. Yeah, those help significantly. Yeah, 99 ATP is kind of huge. Like, the damage you're gonna do is gonna go off the charts. Sadly, I'm gonna check 1 more time. I do apologize for people that are waiting to play, but I really feel like I should have had another Heaven Striker. Where are they? I feel like they're in somebody's bank, and I just don't remember putting them there. Yeah, where are these two? Allegedly in my common bank? No, they're not. I just looked there. What? Hold on a second. I feel like maybe the reader's out of date. I'm like, I only saw 1 when I went in there earlier. Maybe I gave away the... Yeah, if I gave one with 15 native, that would make sense. It could just be loaded up from before. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I only had the 1. Oh no, I had another... Well... Oh, I had the A-Beast one, which... Yeah, if it is 15 native, that was definitely mine. that I can say definitively, because I could see the old thing. It might be from before. Okay, let's go back to Hunts. Sorry about that delay. I'm gonna go ahead and leave. You don't have to give it back to me. I was just curious where it was. I was just like, wait a minute. It's probably just out of date. Silly character reader. To refresh the data at some point. Okay. So we got a Heavenly Battle for Evil. We got the 99 power material. So now, that should be a big boost in damage. You should be doing a ton of damage with Charge Arm. The Charge Arm, if you're able to spend a little bit of Meseta, is basically going to let you nuke crowds. So now your ability to solo clear or group clear has been greatly improved. I think that was worth a small detour there. There we go, I mashed through, we got it. Yeah, I might have given 1 of them away, that would make sense to me. Like, essentially I still need a couple for myself, because there's 2 Rangers I need to make, but like beyond that I don't need the other ones. Okay, it did have the native. Because I was like, I could tell you the exact stats on it. Okay, so at least I did give away 1 of the Heaven Strikers. It felt like I did, because I was like, I felt like I had another one, so I was like, that now makes sense. All my Rangers currently have 1, and I have 2 for my upcoming Rangers. Okay, so if I get another one, I'll give another one away. Need to charge for those. There we go. Yeah, you should feel like a sigh of relief with damage. I'm sure you're probably near cap. Even with like a not finished mag, the damage will be insane. Poor rap. Oh, I didn't mean to Gafoe. I'm bad. I broke the cardinal rule of force, which is to not use Gafoe in this room. I'm bad. My finger went to Gafoi and or not Gafoi, went to Rafoi, but I forgot to hit control. Whoops. I spooked a couple Rappies, my bad. Now I want to Gafoi. Perfect. What door phone? I'm seeing Chad's damage starting to kick in. When they get to Lord and they just take like 1,000,000 damage. Yeah, between the two rangers, they're able to combo kill together. That's where the importance of freeze kicks in. You see a lot of enemies that are easily freezable. That might lead to people being able to spam charge, the equivalency thereof. So I'm gonna spam some Gafoi here. Since I'm stacking it, I don't mind casting a little slower just to do more damage to the Yaois. Emo clean up the zoos. Poor ass starts just getting deleted by Chad. Well, I'm definitely noticing our overall damage per area improves. So I think between the charge arm and the power materials, I am noticing the Dwarfons are suddenly at like 2,000 less health. It does make a big difference with clear speed. Hopefully that power helps you with your own solo runs. Because before I was seeing them at like 1,000 health on like the common enemies, and now they're down to like 200, which is like a fireball for me. I barely have to interact with some of these enemies now. What a difference. I was gonna say, and Parameter almost able to survive Surface Dwarfon. We're getting there. Hopefully we can get a Cannon Rouge for the group, since all 3 of the party members with us are Rangers. So this is kind of like the most friendly quest we can offer them. Potentially we could end up with Heavenly ability or Centurion ability, which again, if you don't have a lot of good units, that's just really good stat filler, honestly. It gives you a small increase of accuracy, which is one of the most important stats in the game, even arguably more than ATP. So now that, for example, you consume the 99 ATP, it generally is better just to have accuracy ups on these enemies. Nice freeze drought. Appreciate it. I like not dealing with them. Yeah, I'm really hoping somebody gets that Cannon Rouge. The item is so good. It is kind of funny that the weapon needed to defeat the boss drops in this run, and the weapon needed to kill every other enemy also drops in this run. So it's like, oh, it literally just becomes easier the more you do it. There we go. I deserve that. Have to be on the hunt for escape dolls and moon atomizers. There we go. Pick them up for parameter later. Start wounding them a little bit. It takes a while to kill them. Yeah, between the Heavenly Battle, the 99 power materials, and the Charge Arm, that is a massive clear speed improvement. Just like, it should feel noticeably stronger to the point where you're just not even caring about these enemies. Like, look at that. I got one spell out in the time that those enemies attacked. That tells me our team damage improved very much so. Between all these level ups and obviously the exchange of goods. That's what we want to see. That way, if Retract and Collect play on their own later, they should feel like they can handle the world. And then potentially I could loan the Mind Mag at some point, because we did pick up that level 20 Shifto. So if you want to be able to learn it, I could just loan it briefly. So as long as you put it on, eat the technique, and then take it off, you'll learn the technique forever. There's really no downside to it. I don't mind loaning it. It's not like I don't have 5 million mags. That way your solo play will be so much stronger. Whereas this before, I do think Rawcast, Rawmarl are a pretty solid duo. Oops. Bad. Uh-oh. Run, team, run. Okay, fortunately the other Astar didn't die. I was kind of worried. That's fine. Here's the demons. Goodbye, enemies. There we go. Yeah, demon's a little silly. Random item. I like that the Dorphon had 1 HP on my screen forever. It was like, I'm still alive, I promise. And I'm like, no. You were ended long ago by the Demon Needle. Charge shots into balloons and it's killing me. Nice. There we go. There's a little debuff action going on in here. See, those enemies will teleport in on anybody shooting range attacks at them. So technically, you're supposed to use melee weapons to hit them, but I'm gonna be real with you. If they teleport on you and you're using Charge Arm, you're like, you just teleported to your death. Now my shotgun can't miss. Checkmate. Right? Like, sometimes it just doesn't matter. Like, if your party is all rangers, it doesn't matter. If your party has, like, 2 hunters in it, that can be kind of annoying if you pull away from the hunters. But it is very funny in a group of rangers. Just like, I just watched them teleport into your shotgun blast. I'm like, I don't think that's the strategy they were hoping for. Not quite it. There we go, that's some big damage. Hello, Marissas. Goodbye, Marissas. Oh, I gotta start running towards the next Rappy. I wanna make sure I don't spook these. Nice, I didn't. Mission accomplished. Oh, I need more MST. They lived. Damn. Or a magical piece. I guess I could technically go get magical piece out of the bank for more damage. But unironically, I do need this for the OE casting. Ooh, nice level up. There we go. Basically, every level up is another damage in my fireballs, so I could probably do about 21 more damage-ish before I hit my cap. Not the worst. Ooh, somebody entered the room. That is so unfortunate. No, uncontrolled zoo. I'm so sad. Yeah, the trick is to hold forward. There we go. Here come the Boron detonators. Rip my favorite room of the game. I love manipulating their AI. They punish you for going hard left or stopping at the door. You just have to brave commit into the room. Unfortunately, I did get meleeed, so I didn't have as many fireballs as I wanted there. I think we're still good. Nice. Outcast is in perfect position to punish the Goron Detonator. That's what we want to see. We're going to reward them with this Allure, so that way they just do 6 trillion damage and kill them. There we go. See, now that they have stats, Allure is absolutely worth doing. They just do massive, massive damage. See, I get knocked down, and that whole wave is going to die by the time I wake up. What I want to see. Getting bullied. Unfortunate. Yeah, it's the only downside. If you see me get bullied, it means I'm not doing damage. So it's like, Operation Protect the Force. Although, look at our XP per second. Holy, 350. Wait a minute. Wow, did our levels make that much of a difference? We're almost at 400 XP a second. This is way better than TTF at the moment. Holy. Team's clear speed is off the charts. We're having like 20-minute clears of one of the longer quests of the game that people run. I will gladly take all these fluids and basically spend no resource. Fantastic XP per second. Are they spooked? Oh, I gotta go back. Might be too slow. Oh, damn. Oh well, I deserve that. No lyrics. No. Dan? Alright, chat, no lyrics. Let's debuff them before they get out of control. There we go. Good recovery from the group. You know the problem enemies are going to be in the middle. There we go. We're training Rawcast where to trap. We're all good now. Yeah, there we go. Look at them not able to do anything. See, that Gordon Detonator didn't even survive the freeze trap duration. Our damage is so high now. That's what I want to see. Just absolute massacres. Sadly, those satellite lizards still block the charge arm shots unless they're hit from behind. Those can be kind of annoying without a freeze trap or a confuse trap making them turn their backs to you. But it is what it is. Definitely gonna delure the room so they do more damage. Nice. Team damage looks pretty good. Just level ups. Keep up everybody. That's how. Oh, there we go. Uncontrolled Grand Detonator's bullying me. Leave me alone. There we go. Now they're controlled. Those enemies just kind of slap me silly. Okay, I definitely want to pick up Escape Doll. Smart investment. I dropped like 2 or 3 in the next room, which is good. Keep here for now. I'm gonna wait for the Rawcast to go in first. I take the Tri-Fluid core. I will absolutely go back for a Tri-Fluid. Ooh, 40 hit. Oh, 40 hit caliber, but no. Damn. If only that had been a 70 hit caliber, chat. Yeah, by the way, if you see the word caliber and there's a orange number next to it on the far right, that thing is worth so many PDs. Like, just so chat is aware, because I'm sure they haven't looked into the trading market, but like, even just like a 60 hit one is like hundreds of photon drops. Like, it is so worth it. Lyrics, please. No. Bad lyrics. Unfortunately, I'm getting trolled out of my Gafoe spamming due to lyrics. It is what it is. I can't believe Imperameter's 101 already. Absolutely disgusting leveling happening right now. Imperameter almost able to survive Surface Dwarfon now. Ooh, Heaven Striker. Hey, look at that. It's casually getting one of the better weapons in the game. Just like, oh, no big deal. Hopefully it rolled with hit percentage or dark. Well, if it rolled well, that thing is also worth like a bazillion PDs. Hopefully it rolled super well for you. Oh, wow. This is probably the most payoff I have ever seen from this quest, and it's not even rare up or drop rate week. I'm used to just seeing this and just getting nothing, like other than a couple PDs, but wow. Wow, oh wow. No hit but collect can have? Nice. That's very kind of you. It rolled with not much, but that's fine. It's a good weapon by itself. There we go. The kindness got passed forward. think I have a ton of moon atomizers, but I can always drop escape dolls as an emergency. Yeah, I got like 4, which is the best. Oh, no rare boss. Well, on the plus side, I'm guaranteed to level again when we kill this boss. So that seems fair. I'm sure Retract wasn't expecting to level this quickly. Okay, I found a red one. I'm gonna bully the red one. I bullied the red one. Yeah, if you got charge arm or whatever you got, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so let's all collectively go to the right, except for somebody leaving behind here. Probably Colette, just to take care of the boss. Perfect. They could probably head a little further south. It's like 5 o'clock-ish. The clock dial. Alright, so rule of thumb, if you don't know how to enter the room, hug the right wall. Reason... Oh, I was gonna say, the reason we do that is to dodge that specific attack. It doesn't hit on the far side. Oops. Oh, I didn't realize Colette wasn't buffed. Oops. I saw that they had buffs, so I didn't look at their buff level. Yeah, that was my bad. I didn't realize they buffed themselves at some point. I just went, oh, everybody got buffed. And I didn't think about it when we went in. Because I got everybody else, I think. How? I cannot believe that almost killed me. That was kind of bonkers. Oh, so many missiles. So many missiles. So just do normal attacks here if you're not sure. Just because if you miss a single attack, it does cause it to become uneven. I think we're doing... Oh my gosh, this is like the worst pattern I've ever seen. And please. Here we go. Okay, good, good, good. We're out of here. Okay, we got through the nightmare. Stop it. We got through the nightmare spawn. Honestly, that was... Normally it at least does laser. It has the courtesy to do it. Instead it was like spinners. Spinner, 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 and only spinner. I like that my Zalure worked on that boss, by the way. Oh, wait. Oh, I get to move during the cutscene, but I don't have wiggle hair. I'm sorry, I let everybody down. I don't... Oh, wait. Yeah, I can break the cutscene. Okay, there we go. Take that cutscene. I don't have to deal with you. I have banished you to the 9 realms. Get out of my face, cutscene. Okay, now I'm just gonna start walking towards the items. There you go. Cutscene be gone. It's thinking about it. I'm like, I want my rare item right here. Give me that rare item. There we go. There's my level up. Okay, nothing of interest here. I guess I could sell some items. Ultimate frame's not a bad pickup if anybody's missing some armors. I'm gonna drop my dye fluids because I'm just gonna rebuy them. Sadly not seeing any high hit percentages here other than that disappointing caliber. Wow, 18 minutes, almost 400 XP a second. So no joke. No joke, Colette getting that upgrade literally trimmed 2 minutes off of the runtime. If that is not a demonstration of time saved from power, I don't know what is. 2 entire minutes, chat. That's kind of silly. That was definitely worth it. Yeah, the 5 minutes we did for trade will be paid off with like one more run. But I think we'll take a very small break to break things up a little bit, and then we'll return after the break. Let's see if I can get a little something to eat. Rebuy these, restock my moons. I don't know why I bought star atomizers. That was dumb. I shouldn't have done that. Put my money. Oh, I guess I can eat the star atomizers or something. Oh, I can loan the Mind Mag for Colette briefly if you want to learn that Shifta you picked up earlier. So that way for solo play you can enjoy that. We're not going to be on a super long break. I just need a couple minutes. this on the floor briefly. What was in here? Yeah, we'll do more when I return, but as I said before, I'm gonna take like maybe 10 minutes. I'm gonna drop this for them briefly. Yeah, it's a, you know, it's a good opportunity to stretch and do whatever. That way Colette can learn their shifto, or if they picked up any other techniques, they can. I guess I could see if this character has any other 20s on them. Oh, I happen to have a Jellin that I don't need. Okay. It was a good one to give away. Yeah, that greatly reduces enemy damage. As long as they equip the mag and then eat the thing, they should be good, because that provides a bajillion MST. Although if you still need more, let me know. I technically have better mags for it, but I assume that that's probably good enough, given your level. Suddenly more level 20s have appeared on the floor for Colette. Say techniques learned. Okay, I'll take the mind mag back. Thank you. And that is the power of the mind mag, even on characters that are not MST focused. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna take a short break here. I guess we usually give our final thoughts on the session and how we think it went so far. Phenomenal. Somehow arguably better, I think, than the Parasitic Gene Flow Red Ring run. We got 2 Heaven Strikers. We got a magical key. Like, honestly, if we picked up even one more rare, I would have said, if it was not for the double present rate of the Red Ring stream, I think this would have been the best day so far of the event. And we still have more to go post-break. So we're off to a really strong start. If we get like a Heaven Striker every 2 runs on this quest, I'm gonna be like, okay, it's like a 1 in 1200, just so the chat is clear. So getting it like that consistently back to back is just silly. Like, it's just really silly. But I'm not gonna say no. So hopefully next time we'll see some more presence in episode 4. We saw a lot in episode 1, but not so much in episode 4. But now with our new and improved damage and extra levels, should go pretty quick. So I'm gonna go on break, but for YouTube, we're gonna say goodbye to YouTube. If you did watch to this point in the video or the VOD, I'd like to say thank you for watching, and I guess see you again in the next part.